Hold fast, Scryer. It is through the will of Weejas that you have gained the sight to view what I have to show you. A story of bravery and valor, friendship and betrayal, determination and despair, awesome and adventurous. But why did the witch goddess bring you here? What purpose could she have to redirect your energies to me? Perhaps this will be a story of warning to you, or a call to action. Perhaps the knowledge you seek lies within the minds of one of our heroes, or the location of an artifact you have been searching for. One thing is for sure. You've been brought here for a reason, so listen well. Not too long ago in the storied city of Waterdeep, deep beneath the city's surface, was the ruins of the largest wizard's tower. And at the center of it, Hallister Blackcloak. 6 heroes were called forth to finally rid the city of the dark influence of Hallister and investigate the damage he had done to the Weed. This is their saga. I bid thee greetings, barbarians and wizards, clerics and warlocks. I am Patrick, known on the beaks of birds and in other crystal balls as Patty Shakes. And I am the game master for this story. This is session 1 of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, Waterdeep, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is an awesome adventure brought to you by Vorpal Tales. You can find Vorpal Tales on lots of places on the internet. Of course, we are on Twitch right here, right now. Check out Twitter, where we tweet daily at Vorpal Tales. Facebook and Instagram, where you get great pictures of all our cast and GMs outside of the tabletop. A website, vorpaltales.com, where you can get all the latest news about everything we are doing. A Patreon, where if you feel so inclined, you can toss us a coin in order to make more, better, and Vorpal-tailier content. Finally, a Discord, where you can come hang out with us, awesome humans, and discuss all kinds of topics, or play video games together. I would like to thank Wizards of the Coast for making an amazing module for us to live in for a while, Roll20 for being our virtual tabletop and platform for our players to roll their dice and see the monsters that look to strike them down. Finally, to N8 Mid for all the fantastic work he does for everything. And now, dear viewers, meet our intrepid adventurers who look to rid the world of the evil ways of Hallister Blackcloak. Please, heroes, state your name, your handle, your player character's name, and class. Don't go too far more into that. We'll get to that a little bit later. We'll start with Devin.
Hello all, I am Devin. You can find me online at Sorta Sully, and my character is Shadow, a level 5 rogue.
Tyler.
Hello, I'm Eldritch Echoes online, and I am playing the Arcane Spellcaster tonight, Tal.
Tiffany.
Hi, I'm playing Izzy, who will be a Eldritch Knight Fighter, level 5.
Ever.
Hi there, I'm Ever. My pronouns are they, them, and tonight I will be playing Nimimel, Nim for short. If you can't remember that, that's perfectly fine. And they are a level 5 cleric.
Sean.
I'm at Space Lord PJs. I am playing Sprouting Hops, and he is a monk with the Way of the Sun Soul.
And finally, Dwayne.
I am Dwayne. You guys can find me on the internet at Made of Kimchi. Tonight I will be playing Densik, a College of Lore Bard level 5.
Thank you, adventurers. Now, before we forget ourselves and escape for a little while into a realm of magic and fantasy, here in the world today, many people are struggling with very real matters and combating their own monsters. October is a month that brings attention and awareness to a lot of important things, like breast cancer. Guys and girls, please get mammograms starting at the age of 40. Emotional wellness, check in on your friends, family, and yourself. Domestic violence awareness. Over 2 million men and women are abused every year. The very important Black Lives Matter movement is also still going on. This is the most important period in time we are living in. And we ask that you educate yourselves on topics you may be ignorant to, and work with your fellow humans to better the world. Remember, things are only impossible until they are not. And lastly, October is the new November, so make sure you vote. Now, allow me to bring you into the world of fantasy. Allow me to bring you to Waterdeep. Weejas is the benign goddess of magic and death and law. She encourages the pursuit of magical knowledge, as long as it falls within the law. Our heroes have all been recruited into the Jazadin, the sheriffs, if you will, of the witch goddess. Weejas demands little of her Jazadin, other than to answer the call to justice when she has deemed someone outside of the law. And Hallister Blackcoak is most certainly outside of the law. Our heroes are given the mighty task to delve into the Mad Mage's dungeon and accomplish the following as outlined by the goddess. 1. Any pupil, ally, or apprentice of Hallister must be arrested, destroyed, or renounce their ways and be bound to their word. 2. Any undead made by Hallister or his apprentices must be destroyed so that they can find rest. 3. Any creatures that have been twisted by Hallister's magic must be slain or restored. 4. Dwemerkor, the school Hallister has started, must be abolished. 5. Slay Trobriand, the first artificer. 6. Slay Arcturia, the body-morphing lich. And finally, slay Hallister Blackcoak, the Mad Mage. This is perhaps the most difficult task a member of the Jazadin has ever had to undergo, but our heroes were selected for a reason. First is the fighter, fierce but small, a raging volcano in the form of a halfling. Beneath their jovial smile and bubbly personality lies the skill of one of the greatest fighters. To cross swords with her is to tempt death. Tiffany, please introduce us to your character.
Well, to put it simply, if friendship, rainbows, butterflies, and everything happy, good, and good-lucky could have like a physical form, that would be Izzy. Izzy is a nickname that was given to her by her mother. Her full name is Asaris Blackhook. Her father was actually a blacksmith in the local village, and her mom was kind of like, she was the maid. She took care of the kids in the village and was pretty much where everyone went to go hang out to get free snacks and hugs. Izzy grew up in a big family, and she kind of talks fast, like really fast. If you don't talk fast, you don't get a word in edgewise. She is a little taller than most halflings, but just barely. Mostly because of her dad, because supposedly way down the line there was a dwarf in the family. Maybe that's why she's like an inch or two taller than most halflings. She's definitely fierce, extremely loyal, and if you ever needed the shirt off her back, she would give it to you, no questions asked. But if you ever tried to mess with her best friend Shadow, she will gut you. So don't try.
Thank you, Tiffany. And just for flavor, please tell us your favorite spell or fighting move.
Not necessarily a fighting move, but it is a pretty handy racial feat that you get as a halfling called Lucky. It's whenever you get a natural 1 on a move, specifically attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, you get to re-roll that die, and you use the new one. It's really helpful, especially when, the dice are not exactly in your favor. So, odds are you're not going to get a second natural 1, right? Especially handy when you're doing a death saving throw. Whew.
Perfect. Thank you. Next, her brother. Best to keep a steady eye on this one, or you might lose him to the night. The blackest corner of the dungeon is just as much home to him as a warm bed. Just when you've checked every room and locked every door is when this rogue makes his move. Devin, please introduce us to your character.
Meow. So, Shadow is the party's rogue. He was born in the area of in the area around the city, actually by where Izzy's family was, and because their parents were my parents were merchants, they traveled and left me and my siblings around with Izzy and her family, where her mom basically raised us. It's actually how we keep in touch, her mom. I begrudgingly took Izzy along because when Izzy makes a decision to follow Shadow, she does not stop. And the shirt off your back thing, Shadow might have done that a couple of times to Izzy just to see if she would. I have gained a little bit of acclaim because my character, Shadow, decided to join the Thieves Guild, and rather than trying to gain gain infamy with the guards, he wanted to gain fame within the guild, and he did things like steal the captain of the guard's favorite dagger and tell only people in the guild because he knows he doesn't want to get caught. He's about 5'5" and wears just his armor and a black cloak, unrelated to any other black cloaks. He's just doing it because he doesn't want to be seen. And his favorite spell is his least favorite spell, knock, because it's always nice to open a trap without having, or open a lock without having a trap, but also it makes him feel like useless because there's a guy who can just be like, open.
Thank you. Then you have the Wandering Monk. Sure, he might say all he wants to do is open a new noodle shop and lounge all day on a boat catching lobster. But don't let this fat cat fool you. When his hands start to glow, things are already over for you. Sean, please introduce us to your character.
This one is Sprouting Hops, and don't know about the fat comments. He's very lithe and lean, like he's a very svelte cat. This one is he's sort of got a Siamese tabby coat and like tufted brown hair on the top of his head, and he wears, this one wears shabby fisherman pants of a sea green color and carries a stick with jugs of spirits tied to one end and a fishing line tied to the other. He actually uses this as a weapon against his enemies. And, yeah, he wanders the area looking for a good spot to set up one of his noodle franchises, where he finds a nice fishing hole, and instead, at least he did this time. And he caught something big that day that forced him into hand-to-hand combat with an immense lobster. He's been sidetracked ever since, with his gourmet and franchising, and he's trying to capture these giant crustaceans so that he might serve it as one of his dinners. His favorite ability is the feline agility, which is part of his tabaxi nature. It allows him to position himself across the battlefield almost anywhere with great speed.
Thank you. Now, Sprouting Hops' best friend couldn't be any more different from him. This one seems to be a part of a flock of ravens at all times. He is just as likely to stab you, enchant you, or debate you as to why all should serve the Raven Queen. Tyler, please introduce us to your character.
Greetings all. I am Kelpianus, so I am told. So this character doesn't have any memory of who he is, or where he comes from, or anything beyond the last several years since Sprouting Hops found him, shivering and alone in the seashore on some rocks. He's the master of all things arcane. He's not sure how much of what is around him is real and what isn't, neither will any of you be. His face changes randomly and is never the same, as does his body. He often copies Sprouting Hop's systems of action. Sometimes a human, sometimes a half-elf, sometimes whatever's convenient to what's happening at the time, but it's never a consistent form, even when sleeping. And yes, always surrounded by ravens, some of which are real, some of which are not. You can never tell until it tries to rip your eyeballs out. Kael'Tianis has lost the memories of his past. We will unlock those in the story and not spoil them for the viewers. But all that matters to him is his loyalty to his friends and his loyalty to the Raven Queen. This wee Josh business, I'm just here because Sprouting Hops is. As for favorite arcane thing, whatever is convenient at the time, much like the character. Sometimes I don't even know what I have, I react on instinct. We'll just have to wait and see.
Excellent. Thank you. Then we have our lost one. Always thinking they are in the middle somewhere, never quite fitting in. It was Deep Sashelis who first taught them just how wrong they are. They then devoted themselves as cleric of the sea, but still searched for their other half on land and in nature. Ever, please describe your character to us.
So, just for kicks, I'm going to say their whole name, which is Nimimil and Terame Galanadel. Nim for short. And Nim is an androgynous half sea elf, half land elf. About 110 years old. And is a cleric in the service of Deep Sashelis, god of the sea, of seafaring knowledge, and they are now traveling land to seek out a little more of the heritage that they got from their father. Their father was the land elf, and one of the reasons is because Nim doesn't quite feel at home in the sea, but doesn't quite feel at home on the land, and wants to connect with both parts, so is also looking to maybe connect with a land deity to balance out the sea deity. Their mom was the sea elf, and so Nim would go back and forth living between both parents, and was raised words and was a bit outcasted underwater because their appearance looked more like their father's, you know, blonde hair, green eyes, very typical wood elf, and so a lot different from the elves that live in the sea. And one day when being bullied, swam to one of the temples of Deep Sashelis, and actually this deity is very benevolent and is open to receiving outcasts. So that day, when Nim felt that overwhelming welcome, decided from then on they would live life in service of Sashelis. And one of the things that connects Nim to the rest of the party in kind of a roundabout way is that one of Nim's fondest memories was their dad taking them to Sprouting Hop's noodle shop as a treat. So that place holds fond memories for Nim, and Nim will be frequenting that restaurant as often as possible. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Finally, every group needs someone to tell their story. Someone to keep everyone going when the dungeon is darkest and peril is nigh. Our bard was once a gift, literally. But then a falling star changed his life as he set out to become more than just a prize. Dwayne, please introduce us to your character.
Good day to you, peasants. My name is Densik, but you may call me Sire. Yes, today I will be playing Densik, a silver dragonborn bard. As our game master has already foreshadowed. Densik was given as a gift from a neighboring dwarf lord to an elven royal family. And much to their surprise, I was born out of it. Yay! So I was pretty much adopted by a large elven royal family. I have 7 step siblings, mother and father still alive. When I was growing up, walking around the palace, getting into all the tomes of the library, I found it very interesting that there were all these people and their heroic adventures, and I wanted to do that myself. But I'm not very talented in like the ways of sword, sorcery, and so I kind of started stealing stories and just putting myself in them. But then I found out that I had a way with words, and decided to join a little bit of a society of scholars and orators. Became a bard. Learned new techniques of performance and magic. I set off into the world, gaining words, spreading words, until I came upon a supernatural event, which led me here to Waterdeep, a falling star, a red star at that, an omen of some sorts. I do not know what it means, but I am sure to find out.
Thank you. All right. You have met our adventurers. You know a little bit about them. Just so everyone knows, a couple people said it, but our adventurers are starting at level 5 for this adventure, as this module is technically the successor to Waterdeep, the heist, the dragon heist. So our characters are starting at level 5, just so people aren't confused about why all of you are facing the mobs you might be facing or using the abilities you're using. So, you all have made your way to the yachting port. You have been in town in Waterdeep for about a week now, having gotten the call from the cult of Weejas. You know what your mission is. You know who you'll be serving with. You all know each other, at least in passing. You know each other's names. You know you're all generally good people. Tonight is the night that you have decided to undertake your adventure. You all slowly trickle into the yawning portal, one by one, at the same table. At first, happiness, beers, mead, ale goes all around. Drinks are had, stories are swapped, tales are told. But it always comes back to the same bits of silence, awkward pauses as the grimness sets in. That you know, tonight is the night we will descend into the dungeon. The yachting portal itself is its usual jovial and happy atmosphere. It is the most famous or infamous, depending on who you talk to, in the known world. It is, of course, like every night, full to the brim. People laughing, cheering. There's not but good feelings here, as people wash away the hard work of the day they've completed. Ales are bought from the wealthy as they pass through the town. Rich and poor alike mingle. This seems to be a microcosm of what could perhaps be a beautiful world one day. Once, of course, some of the evils in it are gotten rid of. There are many tables, many shapes and sizes. It seems as though beauty and decor were not paramount, but more volume and participation. There's a band that plays on a makeshift stage, as though it looked as someone recently hammered in a new board or two from where the kicking of the singers caused it to splinter. There are many bets being placed, as the favorite pastime of the Yawning Portal is to determine just how well off and how long a group of adventurers might make it in the dungeon below. For the main feature of the Yawning Portal is a giant hole right in the middle with a winch and a simple bucket that go down, down, down. Sometimes people who go down come back up with terrible tales to tell, but richer nonetheless. And sometimes they don't come back at all. This is where we find you. You're all at the same table. You are all able to enjoy the atmosphere, but one way or another, you've already made arrangements with Durnan, the proprietor and owner of the Yawning Portal, that you'll be going down tonight. So I turn it over to you.
I'm quite excited that Durnan has allowed us to go down into the dungeon. This will be my second time if you haven't known. Oh, did I not tell you? I have been down here before.
How far did that one go?
All the way.
No way! You must be like super good.
Well, obviously, it was when I was much younger. Much younger.
Like all the way to the bottom of the elevator and then back up, or to the very bottom?
Mirrors all around.
Can I have your autograph? Your autograph must be worth like a lot of money. Shadow, we could sell it.
Shadow just... No, you're fine. He's coming with us. You're fine.
Can I have
Shadow,
mine
that
instead?
seems like a very peasant name.
What did you just say about his name?
Seems like a very peasant name.
I'm gonna go get a
Tree.
drink. You go and have a
Or
talk with Izzy
door.
here.
Izzy is an interesting. I remember a story about an individual named Izzy.
Was it a good story?
No.
Oh.
And as I'm gonna learn your names here, I promise. Hold on, it's coming to me. As Densik regales Izzy with a fine tale that is no doubt false, Shadow walks over to the bar. Behind the bar is Durnan, but he takes more of a passive approach. He is getting older in his years. It's been a while since he himself went down into the dungeon and started the Yawning Portal. So who does the most of the work is a half-orc bartender by the name of Vola. And she's just kind of cleaning some tankards. It is quite a busy night. A lot of the other barmen and bar maids are going around taking orders, bringing them back and doing the work. But Vola does, recognize some people of importance or of higher stature, and so seeing you, you would be frequent in yourself, Shadow, being from around this area. She kind of just nods her head at you.
And I, of course, order my usual, which is a full-sized, strong-looking alcoholic beverage, which is about a quarter potency.
Of course.
It's the Shadow
Right.
Special.
Very quickly, pretends to heavy hand some liquor bottles, and then hands you your very large, ornate tankard that has, intricate carvings of dragons in it. Without saying a word, hands it to you.
I pay, give her her tip, her extra tip, as always. head back.
She takes it and bangs it against the counter and puts it in her pocket.
And Shadow takes no offense, knowing that's just what she does every time.
Shadow comes back to the table with quite possibly the largest tankard you've ever seen. This is something like a king would drink out of.
I am happy to see that you have chosen the chalice of my mother. Awesome.
That one is overcompensating. Possibly.
I just drink a lot. And I drink half of it in one go.
Quite impressive.
Don't know what that was.
To anybody watching, it's quite impressive.
One of these days, Shadow. One of these days, I'm gonna make her my wife. Look at her big muscles and how tall she is. Ooh, she is a tree, and I'm a monkey that wants to climb it.
And yes, Vola is, as most half-orcs, quite large stature. She has she has a very jagged scar that runs down the side of her mouth and goes around and down where her throat is. But it really just adds more exoticness to her. It doesn't detract at all from her beauty.
Lizzie, I've told you this once, I've told you this 1,000 times. You're like my sister, and I don't want to know about that stuff with you.
But you're the only one that's around my age. Who else am I gonna talk about it with? You know what? No, tonight it's the night. We're gonna go down there. I gotta make my move. I'm gonna do it. And Izzy just gets up, and it looks like she was still like sitting because she's short. And she just kind of like walks over her way to the bar, struggles to climb up on the bar stool, and just sits there, waiting to get her attention.
Durnan is a smart proprietor in knowing that his inn would draw all kinds of crowds, all of the races, all of the folk of the world. He actually has the bar slanted to where races like halflings and gnomes and the such can actually go to one end of the bar and be at the same kind of level a human or elf would be at. And it's kind of just this very subtle thing that it doesn't make anyone feel, like they're being singled out, but it allows some of the smaller folk to feel like they're on even playing ground.
I love this man. He's equal opportunity.
So you walk over. Vola is behind the bar, not saying anything. Just she actually has her back to you when you first come up.
Cal, do you suspect that the little one's poor little heart shall get broken? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Devin. I apologize. I heard the wrong name. Repeat the question, please.
Cal's just being Cal.
Yeah, Cal.
Do you think the poor little one's heart's going to get broken?
I looked the half-orc up and down. Not her heart. Very quiet chuckle.
I feel like Cal and Sprouting are going to very quickly become the Beavis and Butthead of this group.
Cal is too quiet for that.
True.
Hops. Why are we going? I always talk quiet, but this is even quieter than normal, so only for Hops. Why are we going into such a dangerous place? Such a collection of fools.
Well, this one heard that the lobster might be down there. And, treasure? Adventure? Glory? Boredom?
The rogue looks competent, but we have the child, the old fop, and the young fop, and I'm concerned for our lives.
Well, if, maybe we should invest in a teleportation scroll or something like that.
I'll see what I can do.
Sprouting Hops, as the proprietor of a noodle shop, which sometimes can also be part bar or inn or tavern, You know very well that the best way for someone in town to show their mettle, show their worth, is always a good-fashioned bar fight. And the yawning portal is no stranger to those.
Immediately, this comes to his mind.
Yes.
He walks over to Izzy. Little one, this one has some advice for you. If you wish to impress upon the beautiful half-orc that you want her ire, perhaps you would start a bar fight against, I don't know. And just picks out the biggest, toughest looking dude in the bar.
Sure. Very easily you see what clearly is a farmer in her, like, prime. So, like, 28-ish. She has been working the farm since she was old enough to walk. She has, like, rippling corded muscles, stands easily 6'2", so, like, double Izzy's height. And it's just, like, chilling with what clearly look like her two brothers that she's bigger than. And, like, she just gives off that look of, don't fuck with me, I had a hard day on the farm today.
I suggest you go tell that one that her corn tastes like smelly farts and that she sleeps with her kin.
Oh. That's really gonna get her to notice me?
Probably.
Izzy, you can give me an insight check if you'd like. First roll of the night.
I roll with a
12. Yeah, checks out what he's saying. From what you know, Vola has been here forever. She's probably seen her fair amount of bar fights. If you were to very impressively, win one, I'm sure that would probably stand out to her. Of course, you could always just try talking to her. It's up to you. But what Sprouting Hops is saying makes sense. If I go beat the crap out of her, surely Vola will have to notice me.
Izzy orders a drink, right?
Okay, so
She leaves
you order
her...
the drink. Vola turns around. She wordlessly hands you the tavern or
Before
the
that
tankard.
happens, Sprouting Hops wants to order 3 drinks and send to these 2 people and be like,
Okay, no problem. So you get your drink from Vola just as Vola is sending one of the barmen over to the 3 farmers to give them their drinks from Sprouting Hops.
Okay. And so Izzy drops like her money, she winks at Vola, and then like hops down from the stool and walks over and goes up to the lady. I heard your corn smells like farts. So
that happens. But as you're walking over to this nice farmer who just had a long day and just wants to relax, there's a brief moment where you look back at Vola just to make sure that she's watching this go down, because if she's not watching, there's no point in doing this. And she just locks eyes with you, and she just kind of gives you like a, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you want to do? But then you're like, nah, I'm sure. Hey, your corn smells like farts. And she very, without getting up from the chair, she very slowly turns at the waist, expecting to see, someone of average height. Very quickly bends her, strains her neck down to look at you. You're not even worth my time, darling. And spits, not on you, but right at your shoe, and turns back around and starts, making fun of her brothers.
I jump and I smash my mug in her head.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Oh god. Okay, here we go. I make sure she's watching though.
Oh, of course.
Suddenly I'm beside Sprouting Hops without seeming to move. Did you encourage this nonsense?
Alright, I just roll a strength roll.
Yeah, so roll a strength roll, because unless you have something that gives you proficiency in unarmed strikes, you'll just be doing a regular strength roll.
I do not. Alright, here we go. Let's do something stupid. 15?
15. All right. That hits the farmer with no armor on. She's pretty bulky, but she's just wearing her, usual farmer overalls and tunic and breeches. So you just kind of like, not worth it. You just jump up, smash her over the head with the mug, and she just has this brief moment. Roll 1d4.
1d4?
Yes.
A 3.
Okay. She has this, like, her eyes go crossed and she's very kind of dazed. And then it's just that moment where the music's had cut perfectly. It's like almost full record, skip, screech. Everyone turns and looks. And the two, all in one motion, the two brothers get up, move the table to the side, start making a ring around the two of you, and everyone in the crowd just going, fight, 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 fight. And very quickly, this happens at least 5 times a night in the Yawning Portal. A circle is formed around the two of you. People are cheering, people are taking sides, and immediately throughout the crowd you hear, 10 gold dragons on the little one. I like her spunk. No. 5 gold on the farmer. She's gonna squash her like the bug she is. And it's just going back and forth. Bets are being placed. Roland? Go ahead.
Is there anyone in the room that looks distinctly just like the asshole of the room?
She was kind of the asshole. You did a good job picking her out. She kind of was the asshole of the room just because she has that like stink eye, like I've worked a harder day than you ever could, leave me alone. But of course, there's some sleazy thieves guild guys in the corner, kind of just hanging out.
No, I want like the asshole in the room. So if she's the asshole of the room, then mission accomplished. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Roll initiative, Izzy.
Oh god. Here we go.
Just so the viewers know at home, I will be rolling my personal dice off camera, not through Roll20. Okay.
And this fight begins, and Shadow looks, and he sees that it's Izzy.
Holy crap.
That moment
Wow. First natural 20 of the night.
Boom! And I wasted it on an initiative roll.
Hey, waste it if you want to call it that, but you will be going first.
I'm very carefully watching what Shadow does to gauge their relationship.
Sure. It's not hard. Like it's crowded and the crowd forms in a circle, but it's easy to keep track of people in here. So yes, like I said, you are kind of like in this semicircle-ish arrangement. It's about 10 feet. Well, they gave you some room, but it is a crowded inn, so there's not a lot of room to be had. The table that they were sitting at is pushed up against the wall. So kind of if you're squared up with the farmer, on your right is the table against the wall. To the left is, the semicircle crowd, and she's right in front of you. You're first. What are you gonna do?
I'm assuming I don't have any of my gear with me, right?
No, and of course you would not want to actually stab her.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just.
This is a civilized inn, so as soon as weapons are drawn is kind of when Durnan will step in and.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. She's half my height.
Mugs, chairs, tables, whatever, that's fine. But when death is going to be involved potentially, that's when they're kind of.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. Izzy goes ahead and she grabs a stool that's about like half her height, and just slams it right on this lady's shin.
Okay. Yeah, with your strength 16, absolutely you can pick up a stool, no problem. And just go in for the classic WWE, just like chair smack on the back. So give me another strength roll.
$22.
Nice, that for sure hits. So
Izzy's impressing. She's trying to impress this girl.
Roll another. Izzy, as far as she knows, is succeeding very well so far. So roll another d4.
And while this starts, Shadow just looks over, sees what's going on, sighs, finishes off his drink, and starts looking for somebody to steal from.
there are a lot of good easy marks. Everyone is fully engaged. This is the first bar fight of the night, so everyone's very much paying attention.
Shadow's fully aware that Izzy's competent, although probably was swayed into doing this, and just says, now's a good time for me to make some coin.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll and a sleight of hand roll, and we'll get to you in a second.
A small
Izzy.
leather-bound tome and a quill come out as I make notes.
Absolutely.
All right. So
Izzy, you take the bar stool and very impressively just kind of heft it up, spin it real quick, bam, right across her back. She does one of those full just lurches forward, kind of stumbles a few paces, recomposes herself, spins around. With the mug and the bar stool, she's hurting, but she's got that fire in her eyes. She's gonna get a couple licks in on you before she goes down. Okay.
Let's do this. Bring it on.
Does a 12 hit you?
It does not.
Okay.
and so my stealth roll was a 16, and sleight of hand was a 22.
Okay. We'll get to you in a second. Does a 13 hit you, Izzy?
It does not.
Okay, so with the first blow to the head and then the bar stool against her back, she's kind of seeing a little bit of double still. So she goes in, and these are practiced fists, and she goes in and she kind of just both nearly just with you graze off the side of your cheeks. Not quite used to fighting someone a little bit shorter than she is. She misjudged how she needed to come at you. You are next. At this point, more and more bets are being placed on you. 20 gold on her now. She's got her on the ropes.
Oh god. Alrighty. I want to kick her right in the knee to make her knee kind of like bend backwards.
Ooh, okay. All right, let's see it.
Another strength roll.
Yes, please. Ooh, 8. Okay, so you go in and you're like, ha, all right. Got her in the head, got the stool. I just gotta finish her now. I'm gonna make her quit. You just kind of go in for like a side, like kung fu side kick to go right into her knee and just finish her and bring her down to your level. And she's able to, even though she's still kind of dazed a little bit, she just kind of pirouettes a little bit out of the way, and you are not quite able to land that blow. It does kind of just graze off the side of her leg, but doesn't seem to do any damage.
Now I got a question. Is even though I know it's just a bar fight, but would I be able to use my my second attack on this too, or no?
Absolutely.
All right, I want to go for it again.
Alrighty. So she spins around, and you're getting ready to. You're trying to judge where she's going to spin out at.
Okay. I'm gonna go for that. 17 this time around.
Absolutely. So you are able to perfectly predict where she's going to spin out of that dodge at, and you just you just kind of flip around to do the other side kick and just crash in on her knee. Give me a D4, please.
Ooh. 3.
Wow. Okay. Sure enough, you get a very resounding right on the kneecap, and everyone in the bar can hear the as she immediately buckles, goes down on one knee, and it's just like, mercy, 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 done, I'm done. And as soon as she taps, her two brothers come in, they get in between the two of you, you do the whole, hold me back, bro. But eventually the two of you are separated. The crowd, there's cheering for the people who won their bets, there's people muttering and upset for who lost their bets, but eventually the crowd disperses and conversation resumes. The band starts playing again, and you walk away having handedly won your bar fight. Devin, before the crowd finally disperses, with your sleight of hand and your stealth, you are very easily able to just kind of yoink, 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 yoink. Oh, just a couple gold pieces from there. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Oh, you're holding all the gold for the bets. Okay, let me just grab a little bit from there. You're able to easily walk away with 100 gold pieces.
Sweet.
You probably stole from about like 10 or 15 different people.
Damn.
But it was just, 5 or so gold pieces per person, but it added up very quickly.
After the fight's over and Izzy settles back down, I toss 5 gold her way because she knows distraction and what came about from distraction, because that's what happens.
So you are cheered by the people who correctly bet on you, Izzy. Shadow hands you your cut for being a champion, and as is tradition, winners of bar fights get a free drink. So you move over back to the bar, and Vola is there waiting for you. She just kind of has a little bit of a smirk on her face.
Izzy she goes up and she sits there and she's like full on blushing from a mixture of the adrenaline and because there's this pretty lady looking at her. Like, hey, yeah, see what I did there? Man, people gotta understand, you don't mess with halflings.
She just nods her head.
So just kind of wondering, you think you could, maybe, like, it'd be really cool if maybe, like, want to go, like, maybe get something to eat with me later, or maybe, like, when you get off the shift, or, I'm gonna be heading down the well. Maybe we could, like, meet up or something, like, when I get out. That'd be really cool. I think you're really pretty.
Her smirk kind of intensifies, and she just she turns around, gets you your drink, puts it down, and then she does some movements with her hands. Give me a intelligence, just a general intelligence check.
12.
12. That's just enough to realize that you don't know what she's saying, but you do recognize it as sign language. And you realize that the scar that goes down her throat, she may not be able to talk anymore. In all of your times coming in here and flirting with her, you never worked with the courage to try to talk to her. And you're just now realizing that it's going to be a little bit harder than you thought it was. Not impossible. But she sees you, she sees the realization come over your face, and she just kind of does a little kind of, her laugh kind of sounds like all it is just the expelling of air. It's kind of just like, then she leans over the bar and she kisses you on the cheek, and she goes back to working.
Next time I get a chance to learn a new language, it's gonna be sign language. Boom.
Fair enough. You are resolved to go to one of the many libraries in Waterdeep one day and check out the sign language book. Izzy comes back over, completely pink, completely giddy-faced. She looks more drunk than 10 ales could get her, but she sits back down. Unusually quiet for a little bit, too.
Sprouting Hops holds out his paw to Shadow and just like, instigator's fee.
I give him a copper.
We're not doing coppers and silvers this game, so you give them 1 gold.
1 gold, then.
Yeah.
All right. More drinks are provided through you guys purchasing them. A couple people happy that Izzy won the fight for them, buy you guys drinks as well. But eventually it gets to the part of the night where Durnan looks over to Nim and Nim and Densick several times, and just kind of gives the knowing, like, whenever you guys are ready kind of thing.
Oh, yes. It seems to be that time. Everyone finish up your drinks and let's hop in the basket.
Hey, hype man, why don't you hype this up? You should say a few words.
Well, hold on. Let me make sure that Izzy doesn't need any healing after that vicious, horrible, dreadful fight.
Ah,
Look,
the
Izzy,
little one is quite the scrapper. I think you'd be all right.
give me a medicine check.
It was brutal. That was not me. But sorry, I opened my sheet and had to restart roll 20.
You're fine.
Next time, discuss your instigator's fee in advance, perhaps. I tap Sprouting Outs on the shoulder. Pat.
Ah,
Rolled a 24 and a 23.
one gold buys a drink, you know.
24. With you, the words are halfway out your mouth, like, "Oh, I better make sure that Izzy." And you just take a quick look between the quite apparent giddiness all over her face and the fact that just visually she was walking fine right after the fight and everything like that. She didn't take any major blows or any hits like that. She's fine.
Oh, you're fine. And I pull out a little like sticker, put it on Izzy's
Little
shirt.
Band-Aid.
Yes,
I get a sticker.
you get a sticker.
Is it a unicorn sticker?
It
Uh,
can be.
It's not a unicorn sticker. It is, however, a dolphin sticker.
Is it a
Yes.
shiny dolphin sticker?
Yes, it can be shiny.
Yes.
Now, no more picking fights unless it's absolutely necessary, please.
Oh, okay. You said please. Wait, you said please. You were nice to me. Do you want to be friends?
I thought we were friends.
What? Nope, can't. Got it. I get it. Last time I got really excited because someone became friends with me, I broke a window because I screamed so loud.
You also broke my eardrums.
You got better.
It cost
I could have
100
fixed that.
gold.
Well, now our awesome elf friend can help you.
So after a quick looking over by Nim, the inn starts to quiet down a little bit as Durnan slowly walks over to the winch that is in clear view of everyone as it is in the middle of the inn, and slowly just starts cranking the crank. And you notice that along with the sound the winch makes, the rope kind of makes that straining sound that really old wet rope makes. You realize that it's kind of weirdly colored, and as you guys start to gather together at the lip of the descent, you realize that the rope has a weird orangish reddish hue to it. Nim, as the resident medicine person, you were very easily able to tell that it is stained with blood.
Oh, I think that we should possibly rethink this. This rope is covered in blood. It's not very sanitary. Firstly. Secondly, it indicates that as soon as we go down, we could die.
The funnest things in life are covered with blood. So,
No, I don't think
He's not wrong.
Durnan hears you, and without missing a beat on cranking it, he's just like, "I guarantee the first room's safe. After that, it's on you." And finally, a bucket appears. The bucket is able to hold the bucket is able to hold one of you at a time. And he charges 1 gold piece per person to go down in the bucket.
Well, obviously, we know who's going first.
So the bucket's at the top. He just holds his hand out and he says, "And who's going first?"
When Dietrich says, well, obviously you know who's going first, like, Sprouting Hops just sort of, like, nudges him forward in front of everyone else.
It's that moment where Densick doesn't quite take a step back in time, and everyone else does. And so Durnan just looks at you, Densick, hand out. Gold first, then you go down.
Ah, 1 gold. But a mere pittance. Flips it in the
Takes
air.
it. He motions. There's a small little stone lip that kind of gets you right even with the bucket. And the bucket it's old. It's made out of wooden planks that are rotting. Durnan does just enough work on this bucket so that it will hold, but he's not making it look pretty anytime soon. And he just kind of gestures for you to get on.
Yeah, he'll get on and he'll pull out his little flute. He blows on it a couple times. He goes, me, 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 me. Fear not, my friends, don't not despair. We'll seize this day, for that I swear. And then he just waves.
And as you're singing your song, he starts to winch you down. At this point, everyone's kind of gone quiet and starts gathering around the yawning portal themselves. And as they hear you sing, immediately a bet start going. They won't even last a week. I'd give them 3 days. They're taking a singing man with them. They don't have a chance. Not a snowball's chance in the 9 hells. Seems your bets right now are going about the average is 10 dragons for 3 days.
You know, it would actually help us on our adventure if you were a little more encouraging. Just a little.
The elf's got feelings. 1 day. 1 day. We give them 1 day.
This one
Find
will
the
bet
person who's
everyone in the room. We make it there and back again. One piece, all of us. For everything.
Everyone kind of just hushes.
I'll put down
One-
5 gold on myself.
Live or to die.
One of the kind of like the official bookie looking guy's like, we allow that. He just holds his hand out for the 5 gold.
Just myself, no time date. I'll come back.
We allow it.
Boom.
Standard going rate, and he looks you up and down. 5 to 1 for a week. After that, 6 to 1. No time limit.
Wait, why do we have to pay you to go down to our deaths?
Durnan is still cranking down Densick, by the way. Densick, you're about halfway down by now. It's very long. It's very deep down.
All you hear is the echoing.
Yeah, it still echoes up a little bit. It's getting fainter and fainter and fainter. And he just looks over at you, Nim, and is just like, who says you guys are gonna die? Y'all the ones who want to go down. I happen to be the one that owns the area around it, so therefore I figure I might as well charge.
Oh, I suppose that's fair.
Right? Man's got to make a living.
It's a maintenance fee. I mean, that's a pretty big bucket. Ropes are
Oh.
expensive.
Darling, the gold don't go towards the bucket.
Oh.
Shadow looks at the bucket, looks at Izzy. Big is relative.
After
Mr.
about a
DM.
minute, yes.
I go up to the bookie as a gnome in the most brightly colored clothes possible.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm with them. 20 gold on myself to live. I want to
Takes
see
a
the
moment.
odds.
Give me a deception check. And since you're using a disguise, you can give me advantage.
Well,
Okay. He just kind of looks you up and down. He's like, hold up. No. They only had one little person. You're not with them. You're a solo party. Solo parties, odds are greater, but you get less time.
Done.
All right. That'll be, you got to bring proof of making at least 5 levels down, and we'll give you, if you make it all 5 levels, we'll give you 10 to 1.
I'll take those odds.
All right. How much you putting down?
20.
All right. Mark that. After about a minute, Densick, you find the bucket finally rests at the bottom. It is pitch black, and you do not have dark vision.
Yeah. definitely thinking to myself when I get to the bottom, like, probably should have brought a torch.
Luckily,
But I do have a candle.
but well, you also have torches.
Yeah, we each got 3.
Everyone has torches.
I do not.
Yes, you do. I sent everyone a list of the starting gear that everyone has as being level 5 characters, as well as having been in the town for a little bit, and the fact that this is being commissioned and funded by the
Ouijas.
yes. You there's a list of things you have, and torches is among some.
Fair enough. Such an archaic contraption.
As being the word I was looking for is Jazzadine. As being Jazzadine of Ouijas, you have a little bit of funding.
Alright, I will strike up a torch.
Strike up a torch. Excellent. In this first room you're in, it is very just standard square shaped. It's about 40-foot square. It looks like there's only one way out of this room right now. Back at the top of the well, Durnan cranks the bucket back up. Who's next?
Densick is you, right, Dwayne?
Yes.
You should be able to see now.
Oh, let me switch. There you go. Now you should be able to see.
Yes.
I'll transition.
The gnome gets in the bucket because no one else moves.
All right. Cal gets in the bucket. Well, he holds out his hand for the 1 gold first.
Oh. Way down there.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I paid the man with real money.
Excellent. Starts winching you down. It also takes about another minute, but you get down on the ground. You do have dark vision, but there's already a torch being lit, so you are very easily able to tell same things. 40-foot square room, 1 exit out. And it seems like all along the walls, there are shields just hanging there, all in various states of decay and damage, and just not like through being used, but just time.
When I get out of the bucket, I'm a drow. I go stand next to the bard.
Coming out of the bucket, Densick, is a drow elf.
Who are
You do not, you don't remember a drow elf in your party.
However, the key, and we should probably have brought this up when I did my description, is my cloak always has the Raven Queen's insignia on it. That doesn't change. That's how you know it's me. I only take that off when we're trying to fool other people.
So someone wearing Cal's clothes, but is
Yep.
definitely a drow, walks over to you.
So I'll definitely go, who are you? Ah, you sneaky guy, you. Cowl. I
I will
like
never
you.
tell you you're terrible at singing.
Yes, but I don't believe them.
Nor should you.
Durnan is winching the bucket back up.
I pay him and go in the bucket.
Same thing, go down, takes about a minute, get out. Your 2 friends are kind of just moseying about, starting to look at the shields on the walls. The floor is very sandy.
Just immediately start looking to see if there's anything of value that I can just take off the wall.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
All right.
Bucket comes back up. Who's next?
I will go next.
Do you pay the gold?
Of course I do.
Alrighty. He starts winching you down. You get down. You come down. Cal has started to tracing some of the sigils on the shields in his book. Densik is kind of just in a corner with his torch, looking at different shields, and Shadow is doing his thing where he turns over every stone and flips over every rock.
Can I retcon
13.
one thing?
Sure,
I pay for hops in advance.
no problem.
13 on my investigation.
13. Okay, we'll get back to you in a second.
Oh, and I put my own torch so I can see.
Perfect. There are now 2 torches in there, so there's enough light in this room where it's very easily able to kind of see everything going on now. Bucket comes back up. Who's next?
Spreading hops will go.
All right. You having already been paid your gold by Cal, takes you down. About a minute goes by, you hop out, see the same scene everyone else is. Bucket comes back up one last time, right? Yes.
I guess if I I really don't want to go down there.
He
But I
sees
have
your
to go down there.
hesitance. He sees your hesitance. He sees the people he's already lowered down. I think you'll be in good hands. I tell you what. He looks over at the bookkeeper. 20 gold. This one comes back alive.
Really? You think I'll live?
Got a good
'Cause I
feeling about
don't.
you. Got a good feeling about you. Give me just a general charisma check.
Oh gosh. Oh, nah, that would be why. It's been a while since I've used Roll20.
Ooh, 20. All right. And with that, as he's lowering you down, he lowers you down a little bit slower, and he kind of leans over the well, and he whispers to you. And he tells you a secret about the dungeon. So, I am going to give you a secret card from the secrets deck about this dungeon.
Gasp.
Okay, so you should now have a card right above your portrait in Roll20.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you see it? Click it. Don't drag it out, because this is a secret only you know right now. It's up to you whether you want to share it or not. But you can click it and you can view it without people. As long as you don't drag it out, you should be able to click it again and view it bigger. All right. And with the last person being lowered down into the dungeon, the light that spilled in a little bit from the top, Nim, you see it goes out. There's a brief moment where everything is black, and then you see the light below of your friends with their torches. As you go down, you remember the history of this dungeon. You all do. More than 1,000 years ago, the wizard Hallister Blackcloak journeyed from a distant land to the base of Mount Waterdeep. Some believe he hailed from the nearly forgotten empire known as the Cradlelands. In ages past, humanity spread from the Cradlelands across Faerun, originating from what is now the Plains of Purple Dust, a wasteland birthed out of a conflict with the gods. Others give Hallister less ancient origins, placing him among the early wizards of Netheril, or asserting that he came from a southern nation long since buried by sand and time. Whatever his origin, scholars have recorded that Hallister brought with him 7 apprentices to Mount Waterdeep. With the 7 guarding his back, Hallister tapped into his immense power to summon beings from other planes of existence to help him build a wizard's tower to dwarf all other wizard's towers. But as the seasons wore on, the Seven saw less and less of their enigmatic master. Hallister continued to use fell creatures from distant plains for tunneling and other construction beneath the tower. And the wizard kept the nature of most of his underground dealings a secret from the Seven. Eventually, Hallister's exploration broke into the Underhalls, a complex of tunnels and rooms built by the dwarves around a mithril mine beneath Mount Waterdeep. The architects of the Underhalls, the Melairkin clan, had long ago been killed or dispersed, and warring Duergar and Drow had settled into the ruins. Hallister began a crusade against both the Drow and the Duergar, participating in wild hunts with extraplanar allies through the tunnels. The stubborn Duergar dug in until the mithril was largely mined out, and then they abandoned the Underhalls, leaving the Drow to fight Hallister and his minions alone. The Mad Mage rounded up the remaining Dark Elves, trapping some of their souls for use in his dark magic, while twisting the bodies and enslaving the minds of others. Once he had wrung the Drow of their usefulness, Hallister Blackcloak tunneled on, ever downward, indulging in his inexplicable compulsion for delving deeper and deeper into the mountain. Using his underground complex as a base of operations, Hallister traveled to other planes and distant lands, collecting strange and dangerous creatures to live as prisoners, servants, or guardians in Undermountain. Populating and defending the dungeon became an obsession. Over time, the mage's preoccupation with Undermountain electrified his eccentricities and infused him with an air of unconcealable madness. Hallister's apprentices came and went. Some left only to return, inexplicably drawn down into the Undermountain's depths. Others remained by his side. As they began dedicating more attention to their private obsessions, madness settled into their souls as well. During the years, Hallister quested in other planes and sequestered himself in his tunnels. His magnificent tower and its surrounding walls fell into ruin. In time, the city now known as Waterdeep developed in the shadow of Mount Waterdeep and spread down to the harbor. As the city sprawled outward over the years, it came to surround the ruins of Hallister's home. Undermountain was known to those early settlers, and they often sent criminals into its endless depths as punishment. So it was for many years, until an intrepid adventurer named Durnan delved into the labyrinth beneath the tower and returned alive, laden with riches and countless harrowing tales. Durnan used his new fortune to demolish the remnants of Hallister's tower and built an inn over the well he had used to descend into Undermountain, calling it the Yawning Portal. This is common knowledge for all of the citizens of Waterdeep, and a history they like to repeat to one another, usually a bedtime tale to scare children into realizing that if they're bad, one day they'll be thrown down into the depths of the dungeon, just like the old prisoners, and Hallister might come and get them like the boogeyman. You are all able to successfully get down into the first room of the dungeons. Congratulations, you are now in the dungeon of the Mad Mage. Most of you already know this, but just so our viewers at home know, there are some features of the dungeon that are, after many, many years of being explored by adventurers, are well-known constructs to adventurers going down now. The first is changes to magic itself that Hallister has caused. No spell other than Wish can be used to enter Undermountain, leave it, or transport oneself from one level to another. Astral projection, teleport, plane shift, word of recall, and other similar spells simply fail, as well as effects to banish creatures to another plane of existence. This applies to not just magic spells, but to items and artifacts that might have those abilities as well. The only exception to this rule are magic that allows transit to the ethereal plane. Creatures may enter the ethereal plane, but if they leave Undermountain through it, they are then pulled back from where they exited. Magic that summons creatures or other planes functions normally in Undermountain. So you may call upon your woodland creatures or your elementals or your demons or devils to serve you. You can also not magically alter the shape of Undermountain's ceilings, pillars, columns, walls, or floors. Doors and furnishings are not protected from this magic, but any attempt to just simply collapse a tunnel through magic is ineffective. All right, adventurers, you are armed with this knowledge. Our viewers at home know what's going on. So, you are officially in the first level of the dungeon. Down here, it is completely dark except for your torches now. There's clearly only one real exit out. It is to the southwest, as you can see on the map. Devin, that 13 was your investigation?
Yes.
Okay. So with your investigation, like I said, you look around the room, fairly empty. In the sand, there's some old gear, some ruined spikes, an empty water skin, a tinder box that doesn't quite work as well as it used to, a torn shirt, nothing of any value. You look around on the walls. There's just there's many shields all around the walls, about 60 it seems. They all have different symbols and sigils, and some are to deities, some are to ancient kingdoms, royal bloodlines. Some make sense and are very clearly visible of modern deities. Some are old bloodlines that are lost to time. Other than that, seems like there's just one way to go.
These shields look vintage.
They all vary kind of in age. So some look like they're, maybe they are recent kind of build and shape. Others look like they could be used by armies from hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Spartan Hops walks up to one and is like, "This might looking good in this one's restaurant," and tries to take it.
Okay. Are you going over to one of the very old looking ones, or
just one that looks not old, but looks like it might hold up over some travel?
Okay. And rolling percentile. Okay. High or low?
Low.
Okay. You go to pick up the shield off the wall, and it comes off mostly the top right corner kind of comes off. And this shield itself was kind of your simpler buckler style, so perfectly round, some nailed on leather on it, and just kind of a very simple symbol of an oak tree on the middle. So a piece of it kind of falls off as you take it off the wall. And you look at it, you wouldn't want to try to use it as a shield to protect yourself, but as decoration, pretty nice. Give it some character.
Okay. I'll just take it, sling it over my back, and carry it.
No problem. Anyone else doing anything else, or you kind of just doing that thing where you look at one another like, who's going first?
I put my hand on the rogue's shoulder before he moves forward, and I pluck one of the half-dozen ravens off my shoulders, and I whisper to it in what sounds like very strange Elvish. And I send it forward to scout, and I watch through its eyes in the next room.
Okay. So you send it down the hallway, where it has. You can see on the map where it goes. Once it goes down the kind of the end of your vision, you guys can see it continues going straight for another 30 feet, and then it hits a wall, and it has to go north. Once it does that, it comes into a kind of narrow, wide hallway that's about 70-ish feet long before there are stairs that go down.
I tell it to wait there, I relay that information to the rogue.
Okay.
And then I find a
it-
shadow to melt into.
In the hallway, it goes. Do you have it go like all the way to the stairs, basically?
Yes, and hover over the stairs.
Okay. As it goes through that hallway, there are kind of recesses in the walls, and there seem to be sculptures of some kind.
Relay this to the group as well.
Is there anything else of interest in this room?
Give me a investigation check.
Investigation.
Yes.
That's not gonna happen. 14.
14. Okay. Okay, so as you keep looking at the shields, one kind of catches your eye. It's an old elvish style shield. So it kind of has some slanting curved lines and some flowery design on the edges, but definitely sturdy. Seems to be made of very fine steel. But you notice kind of a little bit of a skew, and as you get closer, you see that there's a little bit of looks to be red behind it. So you move the shield off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And do you read Elvish?
No.
You would know I do.
Yes. And
do-
and in Elvish is common enough language, you would recognize that it is Elvish.
Cal, you speak Elvish, do you not? I believe this one has found something.
I read it.
It seems to be a children's rhyme. It's written in that reddish material is blood. Beyond the pillar forest, the mad mage waits, casting spells behind magic grates.
I say it with no inflection. It sounds very creepy.
Read that again.
I do.
Beyond the pillar forest, the mad mage waits, casting spells behind magic gates. Sorry, I said grates the first time. It's gates.
Seems fairly obvious. Interesting. Okay. Hops wants to take the shield instead of the crusty old buckler, so he like swaps them in place.
No problem. Once again, still wouldn't want to use this as defense today, but it's a very nice shield.
Okay.
Right? And with that, you kind of get the feeling that there's not really much else in this room.
Then this will be the moment that the rogue will go forth.
There's that awkward moment where everyone slowly turns their head to you, Shadow. It's kind of like, well.
And so
Lollygagging.
And so Shadow just kind of says, all right. It just creeps out stealthily down the hallway while checking to see if there's any traps along the way.
Alrighty. First, give me a stealth check.
All right, and I rolled a nat 1. There we go.
Nice.
Excellent Devin start.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, perfect. And go ahead and Devin, tell everyone, you the one who asked the question, what are you going to roll to detect traps?
I am going to use perception as I'm wandering across.
Excellent.
Being super quiet. See, guys, this is how you're supposed to check for traps and walk around sneaky like.
And you hear it echo around the corners and down the hallways. Sneaky like, sneaky like, sneaky like, sneaky like.
The sprouting hops leans over to Cal. These ones are so freaking dead.
Cal looks at you and then rolls his own stealth.
All right, go ahead. You're rolling a disadvantage though because
Yeah.
the rogue is
I assume.
bringing lots of undue attention towards you.
What attention? Attention.
12.
All right, better than a nat 1. Just for reference, also for you, I didn't tell you guys this, but as well as the audience. In my games, nat 20s are not automatic successes, and nat 1s aren't necessarily an automatic failure. Bad stuff will happen for both, or will for nat 1s, and good stuff might happen for nat 20s, but you can't just like say I do an impossible feat, roll a natural 20, and then automatically succeed. At the same point, you guys are heroes, so if there's a very, very simple, mundane thing you're trying to do, and I might make you roll for it, and you roll nat 1, it's not like you're going to cause the world to end by doing that, so just keep that in mind.
I just did mine because I know that by the rules, passive perception is starting at 10, and I rolled below.
Alrighty, so...
And rolling to perceive traps.
Yes.
And a much better roll.
Much better.
A 20.
Okay. So, can I move your character? I can't move your character. Does it affect? Oh, shit. Okay, let's not make him big again. Does it affect your sight? It does. All right, perfect. So, just for the purposes of navigating the dungeon, I'm going to kind of move your character, like where you say you're going to go, just because I don't want too much light to be revealed. I want you guys to kind of get the experience of creeping through the dungeons. So you make it to the first corner, and you can see around, and what Cal has told you is true. This hallway continues, and there's not anything here, and your rogue eyes give a quick look. No traps.
All right, cool. I would like to continue doing this down this path because it's a dungeon, and Shadow is very much wary of random things falling, or him falling into a pitfall.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
From what he's heard of this, he just doesn't want to die.
Sure. So Shadow moves forward along, creeping ahead. If you guys want to follow, you may. But once you get to this corner right here, in this room, you can see the sculptures that Cal had kind of told you about, and now that you're able to get eyes on, you see that there are the stairs toward the end, at the end of the western area that Cal told you, and you can kind of very barely make out a raven kind of clutched on top of a rock, part of the archway above the door. Hard to make out, but you're able to see it there. And you, and then every 10 feet along the wall of this room, there is a 9-foot high, 4-foot wide, 3-inch deep door-shaped recess containing a sculpture carving of a demon. And each demon is different. Yes, and then you can also kind of see about halfway down, there is a skeleton of some sort.
This is just a question out of character. Does anybody in our party have detect magic as a ritual or cantrip? Not cantrip, but
Yeah, I have all that stuff.
I see all these things along the wall, and I'm like, I'm good with all the random statues, but is that just a dead person, or is that... I'm presuming that we know that skeletons can become the undead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially
and I'm like,
as...
I just want to know if anybody could tell if that's living, not living. You know, that thing that the undead do.
Especially as Jazzadine, you know that necromancy is a very valid form and school of magic.
So I look at the party. I'm like, can anybody tell dead things
I'll
are
take
really
the
dead?
10 minutes it takes to do detect magic. It's a ritual.
You're just trying to determine whether or not it's
Whether or not the hallway has magic.
The hallway itself, not just
Oh, okay, we did the whole thing.
And
Okay.
whether the skeleton is living or not.
Sure.
Two separate sort of things, but same line of thought.
Sure. Yeah, so take the 10 minutes. Nothing happens in that 10 minutes. And Cal, as you complete your ritual spell of Detect Magic, as this is the first magic that you're casting, please describe a little bit how the spell and the ritual looks.
When I do Detect Magic, I whisper to each of my ravens. Again, no one knows which ones are real. And as they spread through the room, you can hear the fluttering of the wings. And if we're not being sneaky, which is not correct in this case, so it's not happening right now, but they'll also caw menacingly. As they spread out into the area the magic is being detected in, all of the ones that are illusions will start to spread out and melt out into almost like a black light, and it drapes itself over the area, and if it sees magic, it starts glowing a eldritch purple color. And it narrows in on the thing that's magical until it's only the only thing that's outlined by the color. And then when I'm done, they all morph back into ravens and land back on my shoulders.
So you all watch as just a murder. What's a group
Murder.
group of
You were
ravens?
correct.
Murder.
Yep.
It is
Yeah.
a murder of crows.
Well, those are crows. He's got ravens.
Oh.
Murder of ravens.
Is it? Whatever it is. You see his flock of ravens go out, examine all of the sculptures, and anyone who has either a religion or no religion. Anyone who has a high religion can give me a religion roll to
Hold
kind of
on.
identify these demons.
Out of
I
character.
just looked it up.
This is so
because
amazing. A group of ravens is called an unkindness or
A
conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with conspiracy.
Conspiracy of ravens.
Yes, a group of raisins. But I really like the idea that he has just done an unkindness to this hallway.
I don't know. I feel like conspiracy fits Cal a little bit more.
It does, but
Conspiracy
just
wins.
Just that moment in time, an unkindness has been done to this hallway.
I mean, it still fits regardless.
So the conspiracy of ravens goes out. Anybody who wants to give me a religion check can give me one right now. But as you guys are all taking the time, the 10 minutes here to kind of examine from this, and do you all just kind of like file in, or are you kind of staying, around the corner right there where you guys are?
I hold them back if they try to file in.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say I don't want to. Oh, ouch.
I'm gonna try.
Cleric just murder a religion roll. That's sad.
Yeah, the cleric just rolled an 8 with a +4.
I got an 18.
Okay.
These
All right.
dice are unholy.
Conspiratory.
So Cal, your ravens come back and they have nothing to whisper to you. There doesn't seem to be any magic in this hallway. None of the sculptures kind of lit up as magic. But Izzy, as you see these ravens go and you watch them kind of flit and flirt from each sculpture, you're like, oh yeah, there. One time, I was very bored and I was very mad at Shadow. I was looking at demons and seeing which ones could maybe hurt him the worst. And you can very easily name the demons on the north wall. They are from east to west. There is a Balor, one of the largest and most dangerous. A Balgura, a gorilla-looking. A Chasmi, kind of looks like a bug almost. A Dretch, this kind of horrid, blobby-looking thing. A Glabrezu, a large wolf-like creature with giant pincers. A Garistro, a giant, almost ram or bull-looking demon with giant horns. And a Hezru, almost like a giant pufferfish. And then you kind of look to your left along the south wall, and since you're not looking at that, you'd have to like come out into the actual area. But right next to you, you can see a yokel, which are kind of oozy-looking demons.
So the room's safe, as far as we know.
As far as you know, there's
stopped
nothing magical. There's nothing magical in the room. There's just some creepy-looking demon sculptures.
I still stop them and I say, "There's no magic here, Shadow. But the skeleton implies he didn't make it through the hall. Perhaps you should check."
Agreed. Shadow is going to sneakily, again, try to be sneaky, his way through the hallway while looking at specifically floor plates and the walls to see if there's any spots where, like, there might be tiny holes where arrows might come out, or as he walks past the statues, checking to see if the joints might move as he's going along, just making sure, like, any way that something might come out of nowhere or move in from behind him is going to pop up.
Sure.
While Shadow's doing this, Izzy shares the information like, oh, I recognize that guy, and I remember this one just because they reminded me of the cute little fishy that was that we caught that one time. And she just goes on like very nonchalant of like sharing these demons, and if anyone asks, she will immediately admit, Shadow stole the last cookie. I got mad. I was gonna kill him.
Your
And then I
cute
cried
bubbly
because I could
halfling
never kill
is your cute bubbly halfling is naming off demon names. No problem. Shadow, give me an investigation check.
Alright. That was my stealth. My much better than previous stealth, where
Yes.
I 25 instead of an 8. And investigation, okay.
Yes. Since you're looking specifically for hidden things.
And there's my next nat 1.
Nice.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm doing great.
For the viewers that are in my home game that we had to postpone, you'll know this one. It's all good in the hood.
But yeah, perfect. The only thing I'm going to also do is, if any of these demons have an open mouth, the moment I'm passing by them, I'm going to put my shield up and cover my head.
Okay.
The rest of
No
my
problem.
torso's fine. I just don't want my head to get hurt. I know it's
Alright.
important.
So you start walking down the hall. I'm assuming you're going to go check out the skeleton.
Oh yes.
All right, skeleton's about halfway down the hall. You start going. You feel like you kind of have that prickle in the back of your neck, like maybe I missed something. But you keep going, shield up. There's none of the demons really seem to have like a gaping maw open, and you were able to safely get over to the skeleton. When you approach the skeleton, you notice that it is a Kenku skeleton, and so the bones are thin and bird-like. But you notice that one of its thin arms is pointing to one of the demons on the south wall. It's one of the ones that Izzy didn't name because she can't see it from where she's at. But it's kind of like, it's got like the head of a boar. It's got these too small for it wings that it definitely shouldn't be able to lift it up, but you feel like it probably could. And then this long kind of apish body. But it seems to be pointing to that one. You haven't crossed in front of that statue yet.
I'm going to using Thieves' Cant, the base amount of stuff that I tried to teach Izzy when Izzy would pay attention of, look, is that bad? What? Good? It's the one this thing was pointing towards?
Okay.
I see him waving his hands around, and I'll be like, I'm a very smart person, so I cast message. What are you trying to say to her?
So you're trying to
only
do...
you can hear it.
Yeah, so you're trying to do like very like precise hand movements that if anybody from your guild were here, they'd absolutely know what you're talking about and what you're trying to convey. But to everyone else, it just looks like you're kind of having a spasm a little bit with your hands. Just kind of doing all these things, and they're just kind of like, is he okay? But then you hear kind of in the back of your head this very soft whisper, almost as if someone's mouth was right at your ear. Hey, what are you doing?
I need Izzy to verify, or the the cleric. I mean, what one is that one? This one's pointing directly at that demon thing. Is there a
Is there a
relevance
way
to
for
it?
us to see what he's pointing at from any angle?
No, just because it's so far down the line,
I'm
and
gonna
it is,
describe it.
and all the statues are in recessed holes. It would be impossible to see from this angle where you guys are at. You'd have to come into the hallway a little bit.
I'll describe it verbally and see if they
Sure,
can-
you're able to describe it. So Izzy, it's up to you if you'd like to try to make a check off what he's saying. It kind of rings a bell, but you're
I
getting.
will like to try.
He's describing a demon, and he's going boarhead with wings, and you're like, well, that could be literally any demon.
I will do one other thing before you roll this.
Oh, wait, sorry.
A
Got
5.
a 20.
Wait, no, it didn't show up. Oh, 20. Oh, so you're about to be sarcastic and tell Cal to tell him that could be literally anything, Shadow, but you're like, wait, it's too small for it wings. That is a Nelfeshni. I think I'm saying it right. Nelfeshni.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. First try. It is one of the more powerful demons, and usually it's not a fun time.
You get that information in your head.
Cool. Because this guy's the dead guy. It's a bird. We don't care. Is pointing towards it. So, crap. It's probably gonna be something related to that thing. All right. Well, it's safe up to here, guys. I'm gonna try not to die. I'm gonna check out that statue. See what's up.
So
So he's
your
gonna
rogue
poke
relays to
the-
you that
He's
it's
gonna poke
safe
the
up to
evil
where he
demonic
is.
thing the dead guy's looking at. That's what I
Yes.
tell the party.
No, I'm not going to poke it. I'm going to look. I'm going to perceive. I'm not touching shit. There's a dead bird, and it wasn't caused by me.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
I'm hoping for another nat 1 here. Make the game. Nope, 24.
No, very good. So you're kind of like, oh god, this is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. And you kind of like you start by standing right in front of it. You're like, wow, up close, this thing looks even more realistic and lifelike than kind of from where you were. And you're like, this is really creepy. But then you stop looking at it, and you kind of slink into the alcove it's in, and behind it, you see almost perfectly masoned into the wall. This had to have been either magically put there or dwarven carved. It's just so seamless. There seems to be a door, and you kind of give it a little bit of like a light push, and the door goes in a little bit and slides. And there is a 10-foot square cubicle with a 5-foot wide tunnel of rough-hewn stone leading away from it. So,
Yeah.
see if I can remember what Tyler taught me on how to do this.
Gotta go to the light layer.
Is this button? No, it's not that button.
The square under the arrow.
Cube.
Dynamic lighting.
Yes, dynamic. Yes, ha ha ha. And I click. I don't know what that was.
Orange only.
Whoops. Oh, hold on. No, I need this. Select. Haha, and then delete.
Nailed
Okay,
it.
he's playing with APIs.
Okay, boom. Select, move, shadow the star. Perfect. I am a freaking genius. Yeah. so
Master
you
of Roll20.
I'm the best. The best, guys. You see down here to the south, there seems to be a tunnel.
I inform the rest of the group of this tunnel.
Okay.
And say,
You also let them know, it just kind of hits you finally, that this room smells god awful. Like it smells like a straight up sewer.
Like the room that we're in, or the room he just discovered?
The room he just opened.
Oh,
I
okay.
am going to cover my mouth with a nice layer of cloth,
Okay.
giving myself, the wrap.
Sprouting Knops is gonna put his ear to the wall on the north side and just like knock on every bas relief just to see if like anything happens.
No problem. Give me a perception check.
Ooh, wow.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Seriously?
Wow.
We're really good on these nat ones today. It's my fault.
Okay. Hold on. There's a way I can do this. No, it wouldn't be Izzy. It would be Nim. So you guys kind of all. I'm going to just move you guys real quick. You guys kind of
What'd I
all
do?
gather up right here. As Sprouting Hops goes down to each bas relief, kind of alcove, and he knocks on each one, kind of listening for maybe something similar to what Shadow found. He skips over the one that has a dretch, and he knocks on it and he goes, no. And you kind of just go, wait. You definitely heard what seems to be something hollow behind that one as well.
I do.
Yes, you.
Yes, you.
You have the
best-
highest passive perception.
Yes. Your passive perception is just high enough to where you would have heard the hollowness.
Oh my goodness. Nim tilts their head. Wait,
Eh?
that one sounded hollow.
Goes back to it, knocks on it,
That one.
kind of licks the stone a little bit.
That's so unsanitary. I don't need to heal you from some sort of germs.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm beside you suddenly, Nim. He licks. Dramatic pause. Everything.
Is there a door there?
Sure enough, able to. Hold on, make sure. Yeah, so take Nim, which is this one, haha. Right there with Sprouting Hops. And there is indeed another door there. I'm gonna get it right even faster this time. Dynamic lighting, select, delete, boom.
Holy crap.
Pro level.
There is another door there.
Oh. Alright, folks, this one has done his job for the day. It's going to go and sit in the corner and just sort of rest for a moment.
And from here, you can kind of see right in the middle of the room, there seems to be like a practice dummy or made out of wood, kind of wooden like armor stand right in the middle, and there seems to be a sword that seems to be glowing a little bit stabbed into it. And there seems to be something at the base of this thing as well. Can't quite make it out from where you are right now. You'd have to go into the room to get a closer look at it.
I'll send my raven down the other secret passage, see what's that way, since we can't see much of that one.
The one that Shadow's standing in front of?
Yeah, the one that seems to be a natural cave of some kind that smells terrible.
Yes. Okay. So you send your raven down there. The tunnel seems to go, it descends. So it goes down a little bit. And then there's a room. And it kind of, your raven is able to, because you can see, smell, and hear everything through it, correct?
Yeah.
This is the source of the smell. It smells awful in here. This is where the stench is coming from. The floor itself seems to be tilted a little bit. There's some foul standing water on one end of it, and then there is in the northern part of the room there is an alcove with a statue of some water-looking creature, and that's all you can really tell from. That's
So I
what you
have it
can
hover
get.
in front of the water-looking creature statue, and I turn to Nim, and my eyes are like completely silver right now and actually reflect the light. And I start moving my hands and speaking in that weird, almost elvish, and I use my unlimited unlimited silent image to recreate water creature perfectly in front of her so she can describe it.
Sure. And with your background, Nim, you're very easily able to tell that he has created a Sahogan, which is a very ancient enemy of the Sea Elves. They're almost like twisted merfolk. Very evil.
This would be the time that I think that maybe we should go back up the bucket and ignore this whole thing.
Do you also tell us about the Sawagan?
Yes.
I collapsed the image and recalled the raven.
Was back, no problem.
There's like 69 more levels to this thing, and we're in room 2.
Nice.
I have 200 gold riding on level 5.
Oh. Well, but this thing is...
Perhaps we simply don't go that way.
Yes, it smells like poop anyways.
This one does not go in the rooms that smell like poop.
I don't want to step in poop. You know how hard that is to get out of boots?
Seems like we're not going to the evil fish poop monster.
All right.
I do wonder one thing. What half of me would it eat?
Oh, that's a good
The
question.
left, the right, the top, the bottom?
Should we go find out?
No, please no. No, we can avoid that.
Shadow is mostly just sitting there surprised that the water elf doesn't want to destroy the enemy of its people, the abomination to itself.
Do you say that out loud, though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I believe that I should not instigate battle unless battle instigates me.
Well, I mean, it's trying to kill you. I mean, well, it would if it knew you existed.
But
What,
see, it doesn't.
You have armor, Nim?
Oh, that's a good question.
Those are good
Nim
ones.
has
Female.
8. Yes, I think you have an 18 AC.
See, you do look like a warrior then. Okay. I will not make that comment then.
Oh.
Nim-
You don't look like a healer, you look like a warrior.
Nim can actually fight with a mace and crossbow and guiding bolt. But Nim
Don't fuck with clerics, man.
is
yeah,
like
no.
diet hippie.
Diet.
I look at the chainmail and the mace and the crossbow. I look at Shadow and shrug. Perhaps bad memories of previous battle with such creatures. It is not for us to judge.
What's in this other room?
All right, so you turn the corner.
Yes. Are we going down the stairs or are we going up into
Oh no,
this room?
shiny sword room for sure. You're not gonna be able to stop the rogue, I guarantee it, once he sees it.
Yeah, currently I'm just thinking about I haven't seen that sword yet. Currently, I'm only looking at this room but there's stuff. There could be stuff.
There's another secret room over there, and Hops is staring at it.
I peer down into that room.
Can you see this black pulse ring I make?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so right where the center of that, so literally right in the center of the room, is that armor stand I was talking about. And the sword, you get close to it, this seems to be a long sword style sword, is just kind of stabbed right into the chest area. It is faintly glowing a little bit. And then now that you're closer to the stand, at the base of the armor stand is the skeletal remains of a hand and some dried blood.
Looks at the hand, looks at the sword, looks at the hands, looks at the sword.
And then also, just
Jensic
with your
rolls
pass-
in.
let me see, your passive perception. Yeah, just with your passive perception,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to hear echoing voices, and you look up, and you see that there are some vent shafts in the ceiling. And it seems that this is just the first level. These might connect all the way up to the city of Waterdeep. What you're probably hearing is just the everyday commotions of citizens in their homes and shops.
Interesting.
You're not able to really make out any particular conversations, but you're able to tell that they are voices. It's not like some creepy, spooky stuff. Like it's voices.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see where the vent shafts are. A tiny creature could fit in them.
Oh, okay.
I'm tiny.
You're small.
You're small.
You are small, but my raven is tiny.
Yes.
You'd have to tell me though. I'm not in there.
Hey, there is a sword in this room, stuck into a dummy, with a hand with some blood. And Vince, I think I hear pretty ladies in their washrooms.
That doesn't seem suspicious or trap-like at all.
No, it seems suspicious.
How
Be
does going
suspicious.
up
Don't
help us
be
now?
suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. All right.
What are you guys doing?
Well, now the rogue would like to meander into this room to see what's up to.
Sure.
And I will send the raven up the shaft because who knows how that might actually help us.
So you send the raven up, and it twists, turns, bends, and you can tell that you're very quickly you're able to hear through your raven more distinct sounds. It sounds like you're very close to going to enter the home of a 4-person family. They're talking about how they should get to bed. It's about that time.
I believe these are simply air shafts. I recall the raven.
Comes back, no problem. Shadow, you're standing in front of the wooden armor holder thingy. It kind of looks like a mannequin almost. That has a long sword stabbed into the middle of it that glows. Also on the floor there is a skeletal hand.
I'm going to pick up the skeletal hand and put it on the sword, like in the handle. I just want to see if it does anything.
Pick up the skeletal hand. Definitely old, crumbly. Some of it turns to dust as you pick it up, but you're able to pick up most of it remains intact. You kind of just like drape it on the sword handle.
And then I see if I can pull the sword out using the hand.
You think that as soon as you put any pressure on the skeletal hand, it'll just kind of crush it into dust.
All right, then I'm going to take some of my rope it in around the handle, step back, and from a distance just be like, dink!
Okay.
Not checking for traps or anything.
Tie the rope onto the handle of the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gather it up in your hands. Look at the distance you're at, about 10 feet away. You're like, better make it 15. Ugh! Give me an athletics check.
All right, this is gonna be great. It's just a straight D20 because I got 0 for it. Let's see, and a 5. I'm doing great.
Just didn't need to roll 1, basically.
Oh, cool.
Pull it's taking a lot of effort and strain, but the sword is able to be pulled out of the wooden mannequin and kind of just rattles on the floor. Everyone waits with bated breath. Nothing happens.
No traps. Cool.
The sword is still glowing.
Colossal red dragon.
The sword in the wooden dummy. Penny, outside
Yes.
character question. The thing
Yes.
that my token is next to, or is that what doors look like in this dungeon map?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just a straight up door exiting this room?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I am going to look at the sword, the glowing sword,
Mm-hmm.
pick it up by the rope. I look over at our magic users like, so why is it glowing then?
Shadow, some god put that sword in that dummy. This one doesn't think that you should have removed it. And I feel like there are going to be repercussions like 20 levels down where there's like a...
During the speech, I've already taken the sword away from Shadow. I've sat down cross-legged in the corner, and I stare at it for 10 minutes and cast Identify as a ritual.
Okay. You grab the
Which
sword.
looks
from
a
him.
lot like, since you like descriptions, which are cool.
Yes.
I set it down on my legs and moved my hands over it while muttering strange, almost elvish. And then turn my hands this way, and the sword floats into the air and just starts spinning on its own axis in different directions while I examine it.
Okay. Another 10 minutes go by using Identify. You're able to tell that this is a. Hold on, let me look at the details of Identify. You learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item, what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Okay. You cast your spell, and it reveals that this sword is magical. It has the ability to shed dim light in a 10-foot radius.
Rich purple letters appear in the air with black smoke trailers coming off them in a combination of Elvish and Draconic. And I look at them and I say, "It's a glowing sword," and I hand it back to you.
Is it magical in the ways of like damage, or it's just magical in that it shines light?
Magical in just the fact that it shines light. It's not a +1. It's just.
However,
it's the shittiest
item-
sword in the dungeon.
It's the
However-
Sting .10.
However, it's enchanted, which means you can add more enchantments onto it for a very cheap cost in time, labor, and cash.
It's true.
Doesn't need to be magically enchanted. You just gotta layer new powers onto it.
Shadow, you have discovered the Sword of Light.
So once the spell finishes, the sword finishes rotating, lands back on Cal's lap. He kind of just looks at you guys. It just shines light.
Well, so does my torch.
So we have a magic sword of dim light. Cool.
And then I mage hand it back to the rogue because I don't want that.
Sprouting Cops is just kind of laughing in the corner.
Do you take it, Shadow?
I'm actually going to hand it off to Izzy because I don't need it.
Okay, so but you basically
we are taking it, but yeah.
Okay, so basically Cal's like mage handing it to you. Are you grabbing it from him, from the mage hand?
It still has the rope.
Are you just kind of like
attached.
are you just kind of like letting it bump into you?
I'm still not going to hold it with my hands. I'm going to take that rope again that I had attached to it and just walk over to Izzy. It's yours now.
Shadow offers you a slightly glowing sword on a rope.
The rope is mine. I'm taking it back.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess it's better than what you got me for my birthday last year, which was a rock.
Hey,
What kind
I
of- what
found
kind
that
of-
rock outside your house.
What kind of weapon does Izzy usually use?
Longsword.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't no two longswords are the same. But it is similarly built. It seems like a nice longsword. Not any more particularly nicer than yours, but this one does shed light.
Her hand touches it, barehanded.
Okay. You take the sword. Everyone's
Yeah.
bated breath. She touched it. Nothing.
Huh.
6 levels down, we'll just grab the sword. Oh, it's cursed.
That was incredibly anticlimactic. I have a door here.
Shadow looks at the door. You are
Do you
wise
give-
beyond your years.
Do you give Shadow back the rope, Izzy?
Oh yeah, no question.
Okay, so you start untying the rope. Give it back to Shadow. Take your old longsword out of your sheath. What are you gonna do with it? You're gonna keep it? Just gonna kind of like throw it on the ground? Put it in your backpack?
Oh man, I didn't think it this far. Sword, two sword, two swords. Oh wait, no, I can't two sword it. Then how am I gonna hold a shield? Uh, I'll come back for you later. And she just puts her old sword down.
Okay, put the old sword down. You sheath the dimly glowing sword. As soon as it goes in the scabbard, the light does not come out anymore. You kind of like check to make sure it still shed dim light, just the scabbard seems to completely engulf it, causing the light to not spill. And then you go to take your hand off the handle. You really want to hold on to that handle.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Did I just do an oopsie?
The gnome is cursed. We must kill her.
Starting hops, you're at a door.
It's not a gnome. But yes, I may have failed to check for curses.
That won't be a problem until later. I'm sure.
Enjoy a good curse myself.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, look at this freaking door.
Shadow walks
The door.
over to the freaking door.
It's a door. Would you like to give me a perception check to check it out?
Yeah.
You may do
I
that.
suppose I will, since our monk keeps on pointing out that it is indeed a door. Good
Door.
job.
Would you like to know what type of door?
Yes, please.
Roll.
This one does good work. And
Wow.
We'll be here all the nights.
13.
Nice.
It's a door, and it seems like it only opens one way.
Does it
Not your-
open?
Not your way.
So it opens out. Okay.
Or would it open inward, technically, I guess, right?
No, he
Yes.
said not.
Not our way.
You cannot push it open.
Oh.
Okay.
Can we pull it open?
You can attempt to. It doesn't seem like it's meant to be open from this side.
Oh, okay.
Shadow relays that you found a door that we can't open from here.
That's
That
better
would
than
make sense. This is a secret room.
That's better than a cursed sword.
I'm sure we can figure this out.
Izzy, you're still holding on to that sword. And at this point, you realize it's a little weird that you're still holding on to the sword handle, and you're now trying to actively not hold on to the sword handle, but you cannot. You must hold on to the sword handle.
This is like a little uncomfortable, but
Oh,
like
for sure.
really comfortable at the same time. Like
It feels
I
natural.
just- I'm gonna call my sword Dimwit.
I like it. Every sword needs a name.
Okay, well, if we don't have a door that we can go through this way, let's go back the other way. Go around the end of that hallway that we never actually checked.
As he starts to turn to leave, I cast Thaumaturgy. One of the effects is which I can instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut.
You cast Thaumaturgy.
To open the door.
Does not work.
That would mean it's locked. Okay.
Indeed. You're able to ascertain that.
In which case, I'll follow Shadow. Can't unlock it
Alrighty.
from this side.
Alrighty, so you all go back into the hallway full of demon statues.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go down the stairs to the west, or are you going to check out the other secret passage you guys found?
Shadow wants to check out the secret passage. Shadow does not believe the rest of the party does.
Shadow, you sniff down there. It does smell like ass.
I still have my face covered.
Shadow does that thing where he kind of like looks back at the rest of you guys with the Puss in Boots eyes and is just like, please.
I am not crawling into a poop-covered whatever it is.
Well, Cal relays to you there was no shit on the floor, and there were no obvious threats up to the Sahuagin statue. Cal is indifferent.
Always trust your nose.
Okay, so it sounds like quorum is to ignore. You continue down the stairs.
Well, since no one else is going to go, Shadow's going to just wait. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Okay.
And Shadow's going to sneak down himself.
Alrighty. Shadow, you start going down. And kind of just for free. This is a secret passage. There aren't any traps down here. You're able to get
Okay.
down. Kind of where the tunnel ends, and this room reveals itself. The room that you now see, like Cal described, the floor tilts. Its west end is 6 feet lower than its east end. Foul sewer water covers the floor, barely reaching the east wall, but deepening by 1 foot for every 10 feet travel westward. So it's slanted, and the water is all kind of pooling in the west, down to where the statue is. So you can't quite see it from. You can't quite see it from where you're standing at the mouth here, but to your right, there is an alcove to the north that houses the statue that Cal was talking about.
Well, not wanting to actually get in the water, since part of Tabaxi's abilities is 20-foot climb speed, can I shimmy along the wall? Is there any way to do that?
Like to the east?
Yeah.
Sure. So, staying close to the wall to the east, you're able to make it so you're not in the water at all. So you can be like right there, and you're
Okay.
not in the water. From here, you're able to get a good view of the statue. It's a life-size statue of a Sahuagin. The statue seems to be it starts in the water. You can tell because up to its chest, it's covered in that sewer water. There seems to be a dim purple essence or radiance coming off of the statue itself. When you look at the statue, it's kind of weird. The head is flipped 180 degrees, so it's looking out the back.
So
Excuse
it's
me.
as if its head got.
Yes.
Okay.
Like an owl. Like its head's gone owl-like. And one of its arms is broken off. And you look around real quick, you don't really see it.
And the water's too murky to see through.
Correct. Yes, it is very disgusting sewer water.
Anything look like it's of value aside from the glowing essence part?
Give me a quick perception check.
Alright. And that's a not 1. I'm
Nice.
doing great. That's 3, 4.
3 or 4, yeah. Quick look around. This is just a room. Besides the statue, really nothing else of importance in this room. Nothing else that stands out.
I'm shimmying my way back up and getting the hell out of here. It stinks.
All right, you're able to successfully shimmy all the way back to the party.
And I tell the party, yeah, broken statue. Somebody flipped its head around. Other than that, it smells like ass.
Ed, it's almost like someone mentioned that like 20 minutes ago and didn't want to go down there. And no, nobody said that. Anyway, what's down
You're
this
right.
way?
Nobody did. Let's go.
Down the stairs.
Sprouting hops gives a bit of a sassafras attack there.
Oh, I knew it was coming. The moment you said that the water got deeper, I was like, I'm not going in there. No,
Cats don't
no,
swim.
No, not just cats don't swim. There's murky water that I can't see in. No, not in a dungeon on my own.
I like water. I mean,
Well,
half
if
of
you
me
like
does.
water, you can go back down there. There's water down there, and that thing wasn't actually alive. It's a broken statue.
Oh,
But it's
well,
poo
that's.
water. You really want to
Oh.
go in the poo water?
I look at my
Yeah,
boot.
it's sewer water.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, I look at my boots that are still clean. I look at the rest of me that's still clean, and I look at Izzy and I say, When have I ever wanted to go in water?
Though to be fair,
Never.
in the
Party vote.
ocean, fish poop in the water.
That's true. Plus, Nim, you are of the ocean. You know you're going to be deep down in a dungeon. It's going to be a while until you see water again. But you've kind of already cleared that up with Seychelles. He's okay with that. You don't feel the urge to go swim in poop water if you don't want to.
That's great news.
If you had to vote, would you go in or not go in?
I would abstain.
Courteously.
In that case, I think we're good.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So you guys are at the top of these stairs. They descend about 10 feet down to the west. And you can see from here, those black dots are all pillars.
More dots.
Immediately say, what did that one thing say? Pillar forest?
You're onto something there. Beyond the pillar forest, the mad mage waits, casting spells behind magical gates. Interesting.
Send the Raven in there,
Okay. Send the Raven in.
and as it moves, I'm creating a 3D hologram for them.
Sure,
What
using
spell
your
is
silent-
this?
You're using
Silent image. I can cast it unlimited amounts of times.
That is.
Silent image is a dope spell.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
What gives you unlimited uses of it?
Cantrip.
I'm not just a wizard. I'm
No.
also a warlock.
Oh, it's a
Silent-
cantrip?
Minor
No.
illusion. No, minor illusion
a
is the
wa-
cantrip.
I'm a warlock.
Oh yeah, minor
Warlocks
illusion,
get
that's right.
that as an invocation.
Yeah,
I'm
evocation.
a warlock, a wizard, and a sorcerer. I can do a lot of shit.
Well, if I ever play a hexblade, I know what I'm taking.
It's pretty dope. Silent image is a really usually overlooked spell that's really awesome. Yeah, so you're giving everyone, and it's this weird sensation for all of you where there's nothing in this world that can kind of compare to it, where you're seeing a live feed of the room. It's the equivalent today of like watching, like a drone or something go into a room, but for all of you, this is really weird. And not only that, but it's the view of through the eyes of a raven, so it's flying as well. So some of you kind of get a little motion sick from looking at it, just like, oh god, like the image is moving, but I'm not moving. It's throwing me off.
It's a good thing I'm used to the ocean.
Yes, Nim has a bit of
Shadow-
advantage here.
Shadow
We'll have
definitely pukes in his mouth a little.
I will have
Yeah.
the Raven scout out this room and then to the edge of each of the staircases, the top edge or bottom. I think those are going up, so top edge.
Have the
Sure.
raven do a barrel roll.
Do barrel roll.
Oh god, please
It
don't.
will if it gets shot at. That'll be fun.
So it looks at this room. All the pillars are pretty much the same, except for the northernmost one, which would be this one. That one has the skeleton of a giant constrictor snake coiling all the way around the pillar. Other than that, the rest of these just kind of like regular pillars, and it looks like there's a pathway that goes north, south, and west, and all the stairs are going up.
Is there any difference between the three besides the direction?
Good. I almost broke something. Okay, cool. Didn't break it. We're good to go. I will let you know here in a second. Let's see. So to the west, you kind of look down. It's a very narrow hallway, but it seems like it continues on for a while without going too far down the hallway. It just continues on for like 60 to 70 feet. Very narrow. Same thing with to the north and south. Very narrow hallways that continue for a while. There's nothing really different about them.
I turn the illusion off and recall the Raven.
Thankfully, for some of you, the live feed ends.
My stomach hurt.
That was a trip and a half, and we haven't even gone in. I need 30 seconds.
I thought it was rather refreshing. On we go. And I move right in.
Holy shit, the Dragonborn's still here.
Densik, you move in.
Didn't realize it could be quiet this long.
Right in the middle.
You see the pillar with the snake skeleton wrapped around it. Looks pretty cool. You're able to see all 3 passageways that lead out of this room. And you notice that on the southeastern slanting wall, so right here, you're able to see words carved in common. So you're able to read it directly into the wall. Certain death this way. And there's an arrow pointing to the southern exit.
Seems someone was trying to leave us a note that we should go this way.
I was about to say, so then we send the bard south.
Yep.
Hide behind the pile of dead
to scout
bards.
ahead.
That one could make new friends and,
Friends?
Stuff.
You should sing to let us know it's safe.
Want me to sing to let you know it's safe?
No, we do not.
Oh, but he's got such a pretty voice.
That sounds like
The goblins will agree after they're feasting on our corpses, little one.
There's goblins here?
There's always goblins in dungeons.
I
At this
love
point,
goblins. They have
Shadow.
That's a safe bet.
At this point, Shadow finally he stops his slow breathing to get back to not being
woozy.
word. Yeah, woozy. And he's like, all right. And he tracks his way, following exactly the steps that I just suddenly forgot his name because I don't know. Densik went, and looks at what he read and reads that it says danger, and he kind of
certain death this way.
certain death this way. Looks at the bard, looks at the sign, looks at the bard, gives the bard kind of the whack over the back of the head. Danger, death this way. We don't want to go this way because it will kill us.
Or
Just think that
maybe
only a fool would write that on the wall.
maybe someone doesn't want these ones to go that way.
I like the way
Therefore,
that this one thinks.
they put this one speaks in third person, not you.
Not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one.
Anyway, Sprouting Hops looks at the skeletons.
Sorry, I thought your
the
name
snake
was
skeleton.
this one.
But no, world famous gourmet. Anyways, checking out the snake sculpture or statue.
Without a word, I hand the bard a copy of Pop's most recent cookbook. His name's emblazoned on the front.
You flip through the cookbook real quick. There's some really tasty recipes in there.
Sprouting Hops' fantastic noodle fantasies.
No, honestly, in a dungeon, there's only 2 people that are gonna write danger, death this way. It's someone who has gone that way and didn't die, so obviously it's not that dangerous. Or someone that is trying to have an elaborate ruse.
I will also investigate the snake pillar with Hops.
I'll start investigating the snake pillar because I don't want to go south.
Sure.
I kind
All
of
three,
do.
you guys all congregate around the snake pillar. From what you can tell, it's just a giant constrictor snake that seems to have someone place it there for decoration. It looks like.
What about the dead guy attached to it?
There is no dead guy attached to it.
I thought this one had a skeleton or something. So
No, that was the hallway you just passed through with the Kenku skeleton.
Oh, I thought there was one on the pillar.
I
Okay.
thought you said there was a skeleton somewhere here too, but
Yeah,
The skeleton,
snake
the skeleton of a giant constrictor snake.
Oh, got it.
that's why.
Sorry, I did say the word skeleton. Yes.
So,
Random question.
Sure.
In character, Hops. Can I call you Hops? How much for that cookbook? I kind of want to buy one.
You can have it.
Will you sign it for me? Can I have your autograph?
This one lacks a pin.
Izzy pulls out a pen.
Oh, damn. All right. Cool. Well, signs it and hands it back to her.
It's a quill and inkwell, but effective.
Right. Exactly.
I have a friend. I have a friend. I have a friend.
Wait.
Thank you.
How does that?
I used the message cantrip to Hops. You have made a terrible error in judgment.
Crap. All right.
Shadow glances over at this action and just.
We've all decided to go south, correct?
No, they do not want to go south.
Shadow leans against the pillar and just says, "Have fun."
The pillar with the snake skeleton.
Yeah, sure.
As you do
I
that,
want it so that its face is next to my head.
Sure. The entire skeleton just collapses down.
Oh,
What was once a really cool decoration is now just a pile of bones on the ground.
that's really sad.
That's us down that hallway.
I take a vertebrae. It disappears into my pack.
I take the fangs.
You can mark one vertebrae of a giant constrictor snake. You can mark the fangs of a giant constrictor snake.
So are we heading west or north?
South.
Oh, we are.
Let's get a group
Okay.
consensus here.
I
Each
go to the
party
top of the
member.
stairs.
Where's the party want to go? Let me get a vote.
Shadow wants to go either north or
Move your character to the entrance of the direction you would like to go. Nim, okay? We got an even split. So this kind of awkward moment
Splitting
happens
the
where
party. Nothing bad happens.
you guys are kind of discussing like, oh, well, we could do this, we could do that, and just kind of naturally it forms 3 and 3. 3 when I go north, 3 when I go south. You kind of both groups turn and look at each other. At this point, you can decide one group can join the other, or you can put your efforts and explore twice as quickly.
Oh, it seems
Shadow
that we
looks
are
at,
at an impasse. So we
Shadow-
go west.
No, Shadow looks at Cal and says, I want that whole preview thing you do down that hall before me.
Which
That's
one?
the only.
South?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'll send the Raven down.
that will be the only way my character will do it, because as long as there is at least somebody that will be standing or something going ahead, Shadow's just like, I don't want to die. See danger. That's yeah.
And I'm gonna send it south, and if there happen to be any corners, Patty, it's gonna bank just for Shadow, because it's recreation.
Nice. So sure enough, you go down. There's about 110 feet down this hallway, and then it turns right. So the Raven's perspective banks right. And you...
The moment it starts to bank, Shadow closes his eyes.
Okay, eyes closed, turns right, and then immediately, that 20 feet has to bank left again. And then there seems to be kind of this like man-made dug tunnel. It kind of gets a little narrow.
Okay.
It's about as far as do you just keep sending the Raven through?
Yeah.
Okay. It goes through the tunnel, and it pops out in this kind of partially collapsed hall. Um, there's a headless statue, but otherwise in this room there's not much. There seems to be exits to the east and west, both
I
closed
collapse
doors.
the illusion and look at Shadow.
Okay, Shadow's eyes are closed.
There's no certain death, Shadow.
It's like
There's always certain death. It's just when.
It's an empty room with doors.
Would that one certainly say that it's certainly an empty room?
Yes.
So Shadow's going to sneak down the hallway, still being quiet, because even though I saw there was no people, it's a magic dungeon made by a crazy magic mage, and Shadow doesn't know magic. Shadow just knows that it's kind of crazy stuff magic can do, so...
As Shadow passes me, I slip him a gold coin and whisper, "Every time you take our side."
I look at the gold coin, I look at him, I make the...
Percentages increase when the danger increases.
So are we
Fair.
not going down the hallway?
Yeah, we
No.
just broke the tie.
So Shadow moves from your group of three to the other group of three, and has some words with Cal. You see him kind of put his hand in his pocket really quickly, withdraw it back out, and the three that were at the south exit, so Hops, Cal, and Densick, are chilling right there at the stairs, and you see Shadow go further down the hall.
Nim just left me too.
And Shadow tries to be very quiet, and... it wasn't a nat 1 this time, at least.
Sure. Shadow goes, and you're able to make it all the way down this long hallway.
I told you, this is why I want 11th level that bad. These are my rolls.
As you get to this first turn, that's where you closed your eyes. You see on the floor a dead goblin that has its skull caved in.
Does it have anything of value on its person?
Give it a quick pat down. No.
Should have known. I look at the back. Well, goblins on the menu.
I look back at
And-
the group. Told you.
Very gamey. Not good to eat.
And I look at... I say, hey, they were right. This is certainly death.
See? There's death.
Cal thinks about that and gives you an approving nod.
And so now I'm going to start looking for traps as I go along, because this is where I wasn't paying attention, because our fantastic Raven fanatic decided to make it.
Okay. So you turn this corner, and this is where the kind of man-made tunnel starts. On the ground, kind of by the rubble, and this seems to be just recently finished. On the ground, you see some pickaxes and shovels, and this tunnel is only 5 feet wide and 5 feet high. So you kind of have to hunch down a little bit and bring yourself together. It's meant for Izzy would have no problem moving through here.
I was gonna say, Izzy will be right at home.
Anywhere's home with you, Shadow.
Give me a
Shadow
perception check.
quickens his pace.
Wait, where are you going? Just want a hug.
17.
No traps. You're definitely sure.
All right.
You move through this tunnel, and as you pop out into the room Cal described to you that he said was empty, it's true. Empty of people. There is. You pop out right here where this. Can you see this star right here?
Yes, I can.
That there is a. There's a headless statue here. It seems to be of a nude woman. And there's a bunch of rubble all around it. So like here, there's just a bunch of rubble.
Shadow takes a closer look at the statue.
Okay. It's an attractive nude woman.
Anything special about it? Just a normal statue? No.
Just normal statue. Besides the fact that it's headless, it's normal.
Was the head intentionally left off, or was it broken off?
It seemed like you kind of look at the neck where it was. It looks like it was broken off.
Okay.
Kind of whatever caused the rest of this trouble. Might have been like minor cave-in or the digging and the drilling or whatever caused the head to fall off. You might be able to find it if you dug through the rubble for a little while. If you're really interested.
Unless anybody has mending, no.
Yes, I do.
I was gonna say, and even if you do, I might not care. I'm gonna do a quick perception check just to see if I can spot it.
Sure. This would be more of an investigation check, so you're taking through
Okay,
rubble.
investigation. All right. It's cursory. I'm not going to, if it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you spend hours on this. So you're just kind of seeing 7. No, you're not able to locate the head.
I give up then because I'm like, yeah, whatever.
So you enter the room proper.
I let everyone know that it's good up until the room at the very least, and I search the room for just to see if there's any.
There's literally nothing else in this room except for the doors that go east and west.
Okay, I let everyone know. Okay, east and west. Certain death. There was certain death.
I will, in fact, mend the statue.
You would need to find the head first.
Yeah, that was the reason why I said cursory. I'm not gonna. Unless you tell me you want me to actually.
If Cal
I look
really
to see
wants
if
to
it's
fix
in
the
the room.
statue, Sprouting Hops will help find the statue.
All right, give me an investigation check, and if Cal's helping you, you can do it with advantage, as you have 2 sets of eyes and hands sifting through rubble.
I will also
18.
help.
Perfect. With all the 3 of you helping and looking and working, you're able to find the head of the statue, which it resembles the head of a cobra with its fangs bared.
That's weird.
Nice. I fix it.
Why are you
Cast-
Why are you
Cast
like
mending.
that?
Cast mending. The statue
Yes.
is whole once again. Looks very nice now. It's a nice piece of art.
Reminds me of those snake people I read about once.
That one is so weird.
And I turn into one.
Don't. No.
Before your
Not
eyes,
yet. Not
Cal
now.
turns into a Yanti.
Yep.
Nope. You stop it. Change back. Change something.
Not quite
else.
pure blood, Patty. The kind that
that's-
has human arms and legs, but the rest is just cobra.
Stop it.
Okay, yeah.
Change.
Yeah, no,
that's-
I'm with your friend, Cal. That's so. Oh no.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I've got mixed feelings.
I ignore
Those of
those
you who
2,
don't-
but because Sprouting Hops cares, now I'm a Black Panther to cheat.
Vex.
Better.
Much more handsome.
Better.
For those who don't know, Cal is changing forms because one of his invocations is the ability to cast disguise self at will. So he's able to change his form. He's
You haven't
not
figured it
actu-
out yet. Cal's an illusionist.
He's not actually Yanti or a Tabaxi or any of those. He's just changing his
Cal
form.
doesn't
at will.
actually remember what he is.
This one
Yeah.
accepts you for whoever you are.
Aw, what a good friend. So you're able to you mend the statue. It's now a whole and intact piece of art. Looks very nice. And there are doors east and west.
Shadow is going to follow the wall to the left and go to the. I mean to the left as in to the doors over here by Densig.
So you're heading east,
Yes. And I'm going to check the doors for traps because.
just for free. There are no traps.
Okay, cool.
Oh
cool.
shit, it was for free. You know something dark and mysterious is behind that door.
So yeah, what's beyond the door?
Do you open it?
Yes, since it's not trapped. Is it locked?
Open
Okay.
the doors. And wait, hold on. I can do this just as fast as I did before. Dynamic lighting. Click. Delete. I amaze myself.
So proud of you,
more
Patty.
Thanks. More hallways. They go east, further east, and they turn down south.
Why are there so
you-
many hallways?
You do
Uh,
notice
Places, Izzy.
you do notice that, as you've been going through the dungeon so far, it's like a dungeon. It's dirty, disgusting. There's dirt and sand and bits of blood and flesh, and you found skeletal remains and just nastiness stuff. Once you open these doors and look at these hallways, they're immaculately clean. Immaculate.
Out of character question.
Yes.
What's the role for monsters in this game?
You can either give me a history or an arcana.
I can do Arcana, even though as players we all know what's in here.
Yeah, I want a history.
But I'll roll it anyways. Go
I
ahead,
can
Hops. You do the
history.
history.
One of you can give me the roll. You just roll at advantage.
Oh, okay. 19.
19. Yeah,
Don't-
this is a pretty common thing adventurers come across, and you've just seen the telltale sign that roaming these halls somewhere is a gelatinous cube.
Tyler is so disappointed.
And even the most seasoned adventurer is going to have a hard time detecting where the cube actually is, as it is completely transparent unless it has recently eaten something.
Let's
So really, you really only find cubes by falling into them face first.
Sprouting Hops reaches for the doors, closes them, turns around, and is like, these ones should find another door. Hey, look, there's one behind us.
Hops kind of does
Is there
a
something bad there?
Shadow opens the door. Is like, oh look, guys, it's nice and clean. And Hops just goes, nope, 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 nope.
But no, seriously.
About
What if
face.
they're all clean?
Then we go back up for drinks, maybe? Then we try this another night.
But I have a pretty lady to impress. I have to stay down here for at least 24 hours.
You know, I think they give possible like false starts, take a mulligan, you know, that sort of thing.
I roll my eyes and look at Shadow and say, what about that door?
The door to the west.
Okay, I'll check that for traps. Locks.
No need.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, I open that door.
All right. Click, delete. There's a little bit of a hallway, and then there's another door.
Is it clean?
This hallway is back to being disgusting and nasty again. It is not immaculately clean as the other hallway was.
I would like to check for traps as I walk down this hallway because it's a hallway leading to a door. Shadow is immediately believing there is something that will be there. Shadow is highly suspicious of everything in this dungeon.
This dungeon is sus.
Also, I look at Shadow, or not Shadow, I look at Hops and I'm like, also, we're not leaving this level until we clear it all.
Just going forward, Shadow, your passive perception is a 19. I'm just going to use that. If there is a chance for you to spot a trap, I'll tell you to roll. But from just now on, I'm just assuming since we're in dungeon time, you're actively looking for traps all times.
Okay.
So if it takes more than a 19 to spot something, I'll have you roll for it.
Okay.
So with your 19, you can get to the door, easy peasy.
Okay. I just am brain used to 3-5.
Yeah. I don't want to bog things down with you going. I need to check for traps every 5
Okay.
feet.
Okay.
It's not fun for anybody.
That's fine by me.
Yep. So you're able to get to that door easy peasy and tell that it is locked but not trapped.
I'm going to unlock it then.
All right. Give me a thieves tool check.
Until I roll another nat 1. No, 22.
Very handedly. Years of practice. Doors unlocked. Easy peasy.
And I'm going to quietly open it up just a crack to see on the other side, or see through the other side.
Sure.
I should tell the rest of the group quietly, even though we're back here. He had to open a lock. We need to be quiet. Someone lives in there.
Open it up. Straight ahead of you is kind of a dead end, but you can see that it takes a right and travels north.
Okay. I'm going to sneak my head around the corner to see what's up north.
All right. It's a little bit more of a pack. You come around the corner, look up north, and you can see that it's more of a hallway, but there's going to be a room that opens up as soon as you go through this hallway.
All right. As always, sneakily making my way around, I let them know, doing all those hand motions where everyone thinks I'm crazy, and then I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, none of you understand. I do the shh instead.
Okay. Shadow gives the universal all clear.
And then I sneak my way up the hallway and see if I can see anything else.
Okay. Go along the hallway. Open up into this main area. This is a very dirty area. Lots of blood and rags on the floor. And as you come into the room proper, you see the alcove to the south over here. There are manacles on the wall and piles of bones in this corner. And still in the manacles on the wall is the skeleton of clearly a tiefling without its legs.
Oh,
Dried in blood above it are the words in Infernal. Does anyone speak Infernal?
Why, yes.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
of course, right?
Cal, you're able to translate. In Infernal it says, "Talk to me."
I talk to it. Greetings.
You talk to it?
Being.
What language
Yes.
do you speak in?
In Infernal. Greetings, being.
Nothing happens.
Cal,
What is it again?
it's dead.
It's the skeleton of a tiefling.
Does anyone have the ability to speak with the dead?
Holy shit.
There's
We
that
all
word.
look at the elf.
Cleric of
Maybe.
Sashelis, do you have Speak with Dead prepared?
Or is it a ritual? You don't need it prepared. It's a ritual.
Speak with Dead is not a ritual spell.
It is. Yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
think
I
it's
feel like
a
you probably don't
fourth
have that
level.
prepared.
I think Speak with Death is like a 4th or 5th
No,
level
it's
spell.
third.
It's-
It's third.
Third.
It's third.
Okay.
I do not. That is.
Speak with the Dead is a 3rd level spell? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does a lot of things, yeah. Perhaps
I'm-
on our way out after we've had time to rest, she can keep in with her god. Are you a she or a they? I'm sorry.
Oh, Nim is. Nobody knows.
When they have time to commune with their god, we can try again.
These
Can
ones could just
Izzy?
pack him in a sack and take him.
If you would like, you all could take a short rest here, and Nim could pray to Sashelis to allow them to use the spell Speak with Dead.
Sure.
If
sure.
he wants to give the tiefling a cookie.
And as a skeleton, probably not much need for it, but
Well, it's okay. He can still have a cookie anyway. For later.
as he does this weird puppet thing where she like feeds the cookie to the skeleton head, and she's like, "Oh, isn't that so good?" And, "Oh yes, I love cookies."
While the rest of the group is resting, I'm going to make sure that this door up here is either locked or unable to be opened from the other side for the time frame that we're waiting, and then go back down to the one that was by the hallway there and lock it just to make sure that we're enclosed and nobody's going to just suddenly break in during her
Sure.
rest.
The door's not locked, but you can lock it. There is a lock on it, so you lock it.
Okay.
You all can take a very quick short rest. I don't think you guys need to recharge anything. Nim, you're able to pray to Sashelis and acquire the ability to use Speak with Dead, if you would like, on the tiefling skeleton.
Yes. Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
Would you,
Terrifying.
Yes, I'll speak with dead is always gonna be a terrifying spell. Would you like to very quickly describe what your spell casting looks like when you attempt to speak with the dead?
So when Nim casts this spell, they lift their hands, and then they lower their hands, and you smell the salt air despite it being in a dungeon, as if you're standing on the seashore, and you can almost hear gulls in the distance. And then, of course, what kind of spell would it be if there wasn't an element of death? You hear the seagulls sounding as if they're being brutally murdered in the air during their flight, and then everything goes quiet.
And as soon as it goes quiet,
In the corner, Cal is just smiling.
as soon as it goes quiet, the skull had kind of, hung limp after Izzy had fed it a cookie, and you see it just creak up, eyes hollow. The jaw resets after having been manhandled by Izzy. You see it almost take an inflexive swallow. Seems to take its first breath that it's taken in years, even though it has no need for breath with its lungs. I will answer your questions, but you must look for the little dwarves under the mountain. One of them hides the key to my heart. And that's where we'll end. We'll let Nim think of the 5 questions she would like to ask of this skeleton, and we will pick it up next week.
Excellent.
What?
So, this has been our first session of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I have been so excited for months now to run this, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. We'll just go ahead and wrap up here. We'll start by going around. Everyone will say your name, who your character was again, where people can find you, and what you'll be doing after this. So I will start just calling random people because it's more fun that way. Tiffany, you're first.
I'm Tiffany. You can find me at Pinky_88 on the Twitter. And you guys can find me on this awesome Purple channel every Tuesday, playing this awesome game, playing as Izzy. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, you can find me over at Onyx Path. On Mondays, playing a Babushka Katiana in the Contagion game. She is a very grandma vampire. And on Wednesdays, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be playing an awesome Ghost Hunter with the new game. And Kickstarter is doing awesome. You guys should check it out. And after this, I'm going to wash a little bit of makeup off my face because I tried to do freckles and I failed. And that's okay. Because trial and error, right? Yay!
That is okay. Sean.
Yo. This is Sean right here. This one, at Spacelord PJs. Yeah, that sounds right. Sorry. At Spacelord PJs. You can find me on Thursday nights running our Starfinder game, and then check out our website purpletales.com. Check out all our recaps and stuff like that. You can find me at cartoon.ninja doing my doodles. And I'll be back on Thursday doing Starfinder, like I said. And then Mondays, I'll be Macintosh, the human hunter. Support labor.
All right. Devin.
Hi all, Devin. You can find me online at Sort of Sullied, and you will find me back here again Thursday for Starfinder, Sunday for the new Conan game, and again back here Tuesdays for Mad Mage.
All right. Ever.
Hi there, I have been Nim whose lengthy name you don't need to be burdened with upon your glorious ears.
Oh, come on, say it one more
I will-
time.
Oh god, I have to find it again.
One more time.
Nimimil and Terame Glanadel. Yes. It's actually too long to fit in my character sheet. Really? Okay, so yeah, you can find me as Changeling Ever all over the internets, and I will be here for every game from now on for Vorpal Tales because, well, they own my soul now.
Wait, you have a
There's
soul?
no escape. Not anymore.
It was quite a bargain.
It was indeed. At the crossroads. But anyway, yeah.
Tyler.
First of all, thank you, the Twom, for all of the gift sub love. Pretty awesome. Also,
Woot, woot.
you can find me GMing tomorrow for our first session of Ghost Hunters in support of the Kickstarter that I believe has already hit its goal in the first day. It's going to be awesome. You should check it out. I also will be GMing our first session of Cult Divinity Lost on Friday at 9 p.m. After that, lots of stuff. Come check out our calendar on our website and see more.
And lastly, Dwayne.
Oh, am I the last one? I
I
have.
always
been-
say my best for last.
Oh, that's a lie. I'm not the best. But I am Dwayne. You guys can find me at Made on the internet. And tonight, again, I was playing Densit, the fat Dragonborn Bard. You guys can see me again on Thursday playing Starfinder with Space Lord Pajamas. I will be here Friday for Cult. Looking forward to that. Awesome horror. And back here Tuesday, more Mad Mage.
Alrighty. And I have been Patty Shakes. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Patty Shakes _. The next time you'll find me on Vorpal Tales will be next Monday, where we're doing Contagion Chronicle, where I am playing Donovan, the Kraken. And of course, you'll find me next week right here at the same time, DMing for these awesome human beings right here. Also, you can find me on my personal channel tomorrow. That's twitch.tv/patty6_, where I'll be doing a kind of summary of this session, things I thought went great, things I want to improve on, what we're looking to do for next session, and just general brainstorming, storytelling tips. We have been collectively Vorpal Tales. You can find us everywhere on the internet as @Vorpal Tales. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, here on Twitch. We're just kind of everywhere. You can't run, you can't hide. And lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to go around, we're going to have everyone nominate one person they thought did an exceptional job, or just an event or something that happened tonight that you really thought was super awesome. What are we doing for this game, Tyler? Is next session it's an advantage?
Correct.
Or just that, it's just advantage on a roll?
The difference is you can declare it after you see the result of the roll. Unlike normal.
Okay.
That's what makes it special.
So the person you nominate will have the ability to do a roll, look at it, and go, crap, I really need to do better than that right now, and roll advantage on it. So we'll go reverse order of what we did. So Dwayne, who would you like to vote for?
I get to go first. I am going to vote for Tyler. Cal. Because I love warlocks and the crazy things that they can do.
Perfect. Tyler.
And not because he voted for me. I'm voting for the fat bard because he sung his way to his death.
At our first song, that makes me
Got
very
real
happy.
quiet after that, but that was a great intro.
Ever.
Sometimes. Oh gosh, I gotta give it to Dwayne because the accent and the voice and it was just so. It was entirely different from any of your other characters, and it amused the heck out of me.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's one of the few characters I can do. It's like I'm normal douchey guy or I'm a fat person. Fat old guy.
Nibbles
I got
is
those
not-
two voices.
Nibbles is not douchey guy. Nibbles is very innocent, just. not-
Nibbles an angel.
Well, that's because
But yeah,
anytime I
your
play that
character
character, I just
tonight-
drink a lot of caffeine, and that's just me normal.
Except for the fact that your voice is so quiet, and you sound like you're just trying to talk to people fairly.
Oh God, save us, Patty.
Devin.
I am going to vote for the bar fight demon, because rather than doing something like a normal person and just talk to the person, I'm going to bash this person's skull in to show my affection.
Yeah.
Affection through authority. I like it.
You can tell
Sean.
she's the top.
I
I'm dead.
This one will give their point to Izzy for taking the very poor advice to start a bar fight.
Profitable advice.
Excellent. And finally, Tiffany.
I'm giving my vote over to Sean for giving the horrible dating advice.
Nailed it.
Honestly, it was a great way to start the session. And I'm glad I followed your advice. It
Excellent.
was awesome.
Alrighty. Well, unfortunately for you Snicker Snackers, as Sean would say, it is time for you to go home, but we'll be here multiple times throughout the week, always at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It has been fun. It has been awesome, and we'll see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.